For the Milwaukee Bucks, guard Damian Lillard tore his Achilles in last night's loss to the Indiana Pacers. Bucks trail that best-of-7 set 3-1. NBA playoff action tonight. Cavs go for the sweep against the Heat at 6:30. Cleveland leads that series 3-0. Then at 9, the Warriors take on the Rockets in San Francisco. Golden State leading that best-of-7 set 2-1.
SportsCenter brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Draft weekend, dreams realized for a lot of people.
Sure.
And honestly, I thought all in all the Cowboys did a really good job. Now, there's always going to be somebody. First comment on the chat. I can't believe the Cowboys wasted their pick. Sure, there's going to be that. But for the most part, I thought the Cowboys did a lot of really good things. Not the draft I would have done for them, but I'm not mad at it.
Well, look, everybody thinks they did a pretty decent job, right? On paper, it looks great. But we'll see. Cowboys are great at drafting. They've been very good at it, at least on paper. I remember us sitting here, 2 years ago when they took Mozzie Smith. You and I both were raving. Oh, that was great. They needed that, a run stopper. Here we go. That was awesome. And we're still waiting for Mozzie to show up.
We are, and that does come with the territory. Because somebody I know likes to always say, we just don't know.
We just don't know.
But in reality, overall, and it's 4 or 5 years before you truly know, Cowboys did a lot of good work. First-round pick, I wanted a wide receiver. They took a guard from Alabama who apparently has a turtle. We'll hear all about that coming up at 2:35 when Tyler Booker, T-Book, joins us here on the Blitz.
Yeah.
He'll be on at 2:35. And we'll find out more about the damn turtle. But solid pick. I wanted a wide receiver in the second round. We didn't get that. But, when you look at some of the picks that they made, third-round corner, they are building a team. And maybe they have more confidence in the receivers than I do. No, clearly they have more confidence in the receivers, Jonathan Mingo, than I do. But then they could also make a trade. There's other things they can do.
Well, and Jerry kind of said that in his post-draft press conference, that the door's not closed on going out and finding a wide receiver somewhere. They must think highly of Mingo or somebody thinking that they can do it. Because after all, and Jerry even said that in the press conference, they spent a 4th-round pick on a wide receiver being Jonathan Mingo. So maybe he's the guy, maybe he's not. Look, all of these guys, and we said this on Thursday at the Root Pub before the draft began. What was it, 47% of the guys drafted will actually have or stay with one team or sign their second contract. I can't remember exactly the verbiage of it, but it's a roll of the dice at best. And you get excited by the players that teams take, and if your team you think did a good job, well, you're excited about it, and then you hope that it translates into wins on Sunday afternoon.
Well, I want more wins in January, to be honest with you.
That too, yes.
But I know that the Cowboys did a lot of good things. When I open my Instagram page and I see a video of one Joe Reinagel praising Jerry Jones and the Cowboys.
Well, yes, and I do. They're very good at drafting. Mm-hmm. They do a good job. And again, when you look at it, they addressed a need at corner. That's the guy they had targeted all along. They wanted him. They were thrilled that he was still around when they drafted him in the 3rd round.
Rebel?
Yes. And so the guy from Alabama we're going to interview, T-Book, he'll be on with us here in about 25 minutes or so. Huge dude. He seems to like making other people's lives miserable. So that's a good thing for a big fat guy.
What I like about what the Cowboys did is they're building from the trenches. They filled some needs like with corner. They got a couple of running backs a little bit later than I wanted, but in this deep of a class, you could afford to wait. You didn't have to overspend. I'm excited about Jaden Blue. He was a Longhorn. And I've watched him a lot. And he probably went about where he needed to go. Maffa from Clemson, two very different style of running back. That probably spells the end for Deuce. But
No.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. There's no room for
He is gadget juice.
Yeah, anymore. I mean, you got a crowded running back room now. I can't imagine the Deuce makes the team.
He's there about, I don't know, 3 years longer than he should have been.
Give or take. I mean, but when you look at it, overall, you're winning in the trenches. And something that Brian Schottenheimer said, it's cut six pledge, really resonated with what I said. We talk about how good they draft, but Schotty said something that really makes a lot of sense when you look at what they selected this weekend.
You know, we're building a team. We're truly building a team. We're not just collecting talent.
And that's all
so
you need to hear, because
guys,
really that's the bottom line of what they did. And you look at the NFC East, you got to win your division first. You look at the Giants, I thought had a hell of a draft.
Oh, well, they got your boy from Arizona State.
Damn it.
Scatterboo.
He's dead to me.
He's dead.
No, seriously, but overall, the Giants had a great draft. Giants might have one of the best defensive lines in football. Mike, I thought Philadelphia, well, they did Philly things. Washington. So winning in the trenches. Was I surprised they took an edge rusher in round two? Yeah. But can you ever have enough of those guys? And then also you got a couple that are coming off injuries and a couple going into the final year of their contract. That's a solid pick. Not what I would have done there. But then again, when you look at the information they have in their room of what they're trying to do, because I'm still looking for another wide receiver and not sold on a Jonathan Mingo.
Well, I'm not sold on him either, but we haven't seen him. I mean, he wasn't very good at Carolina, but, you know, who is?
Yeah.
Right? So, and again, he'll be there. He'll go through a full offseason, all the OTAs, training camp, and all of that stuff, and we'll have a better idea of what Jonathan Mingo can be once we come out of training camp. It's going to be interesting to see, but I tell you, look, Jaden Blue's not a bell cow running back. He's not going to be that. He's going to be a change of pace guy. I really think, and if you look at the depth chart right now, Javonte Williams is number one on that depth chart. I really believe that they think he is their guy that's going to be your bell cow running back from day one.
It certainly feels that way. And it'll be interesting to see what pickups they make now. Some of the veteran guys that are out there, whether it be in the receiver market, a lot of rumors about Amari Cooper coming back.
Yep.
I don't know what Amari has left, right? I mean, how many impact plays did he have in Buffalo? You know,
not many.
At what point does Father Time catch up and win?
Yeah.
I mean, bringing Amari back at this point, to me, kind of feels like bringing Zeke back. I mean, I know he knows where the lunchroom is, but that's about it. I'm not sold on that idea. There will be trades that could be made. So, but again, you look at the rumor mill and look at who is reporting on said rumors and say, well, they've got pretty good sources, so you kind of got to trust it. And it's the Cowboys, so what's going to be the cheapest, best option? It's not the best option, not always the cheapest, but the cheapest, best option for the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, it will be interesting to see what they do. Do they stand pat or do they bring in somebody else at the wide receiver position? Very surprised that they didn't draft a wide receiver, although it's pretty well known by now that Ted McMillan was their guy.
Yep. Until
the Panthers came in and snagged him right from under their noses. So they decided to go a different way, and Tyler Booker was the guy next up on the board, and they went with it.
Tyler Booker will join us here on the Blitz coming up about 4:35. So we'll hear from the Cowboys' first-round pick. In the meantime, let's talk about draft weekend. Obviously, Shedeur Sanders is the biggest story of the draft, from getting selected by Cleveland to getting pranked by the son of a defensive coordinator. And Quinn Ewers could have made more money staying in college.
Well, he's a professional hunter apparently.
Somebody in his
that
family
dude's killed more animals than anybody I know.
He needs to go to the NFL just to pay the taxidermy bill.
Holy cow. That would be a scary room to walk into.
Oh, you've never been to hunting camp.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying that there were a lot of dead animals in that room.
Yeah, it looked like Rob Thompson's living room. What are you talking about? It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You know, injuries do happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. In fact, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get into the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like frames. Because you found a classic 70s concert poster. But when you went to get it framed, you realized the frame will cost about 4 times the amount of the poster. Which is actually absurd because no one will be looking at the frame, and if they are, then you severely overestimated how cool this poster is. But then you remember by switching your home and auto to Progressive, you could save hundreds and put it towards a classic 70s concert poster in an absurdly overpriced frame. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
I'm at a smoothie bar asking people if they'd switch smoothies with me for $574.
Oh, I'll switch.
So what about $574 if you switch your home insurance to Allstate?
That's a headache.
Nope, it's painless.
Oh, so it's easy money.
Yep, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds on quality home insurance today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Based on the national average annual savings for new home insurance customers surveyed in 2023 who switched to Allstate and reported savings. Savings vary.
Always find what you love at Total Wine & More. With so many bottles to choose from, at the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine & More. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Happy Monday, everybody.
It is a happy Monday.
Of course it is.
A great weekend of live music. Always love live music.
Nice. That's good.
A couple of big shows that I went to.
Yeah.
They were good. Got some concert tickets to give away today. We got a bunch of shows we're giving away tickets to throughout the day today. Right now, we've got tickets to go see Wilco playing at the ESPY on May 6th. If you don't win the tickets, you can always buy them at livenation.com, but let's give those away right now. Caller 12, you're going to go see Wilco. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Again, caller 12, Wilco at the ESPY on May 6th.
All right.
Should have done 5th because I could say, nice transition into the round in which Shedeur Sanders eventually got drafted. I saw one joke where they edited up Deion saying his kid was a top 5 pick to a 5th round pick. What a stunning story throughout the NFL draft.
Well, yeah, it is. But now you kind of find out reasons for that. I've seen everything from the Giants. I guess Daboll was pissed because Sanders was late to a meeting or late for their interview, whatever it was, and he called him out, and things didn't go well from there, too. Shedeur did it on purpose. He tanked the interviews with the teams he didn't want to go to. What a joke.
It'd be interesting to see, knowing that everything they do, they follow around in film. Whether it's a 30 for 30, a Netflix series, it will be interesting to see ultimately if people actually get honest in their evaluations. Clearly, people didn't view him as a first-round pick. And when you watch enough of the shows, talk to enough guys, if you're unprepared for meetings, they blow you up.
Yep.
And his dad has always been his coach, and everything has been catered to his skill set. He didn't have a traditional agent, and you wonder how much that hurt him in the prep process. But I know that when they bring you in and they start throwing stuff up on the grease board, if you're hesitant, if it's not there, they know right away. I remember when Dat Wynn was working with me here on the Blitz, every player, I don't care if it was a high school player, a college player, an NFL type that would come in, Dat would always immediately get up on the grease board and start drawing up plays just to see the kind of football mind that player had. That's how he judged everybody football-wise is, what are you looking at on the grease board? That was always step one. And he said that's the most crucial thing anytime you're talking ball with somebody is what do you see? And I throw out a scenario and go from there. And if you're not prepared for that, especially with teams that sent you stuff to go over, those interviews aren't going to go well.
Not going to go well. And look, we saw that before the draft, that he wasn't a very good interview. And there's a reason he slid. Look, I mean, because we talked about this before the draft. If you're a good player and teams honestly think you can come in and make a difference, they don't give a damn what you do. They're going to draft you because they want to win. So the fact that all of these teams let him slide, and he ends up in the 5th round, and quite frankly, I'm not sure the Cleveland Browns coaching staff wanted him with that draft pick because they looked miserable when that pick was announced.
Normally you see celebration.
Yeah, that was an owner's decision, it appears, at least at this point in time.
At least there was conflict in the room. Somewhere, not everybody was on the same page.
They were not happy, and you could see it in their faces. There was no celebration at all. But now what does Cleveland do? You got 4 quarterbacks, not counting Deshaun Watson. Who the hell – what's going to happen there? I mean, is that an opportunity for Shedeur to go in there and blow everybody away?
Yes.
I guess it is.
I mean, when you look at, Flacco on his last legs, Dylan Gabriel, the fact that he went as early as he did, I think was a real surprise. Great kid, great young man, but his measurables, although he's 2 inches shorter than Shedeur Sanders. But he's one that you get up on the grease board and he's going to blow you away. Everybody talked about how impressive he was in all of their meetings. And maybe this experience humbles Shedeur a little bit. I remember driving up to Austin Saturday, and my wife was like, I can't believe he's gone. He's still there. And I was like, if he's not going to come in and be a projected day one starter, nobody wants their backup quarterback to be a celebrity. I heard the terminology by Tannenbaum on ESPN radio Saturday afternoon described as your backup furniture needs to blend in with the furniture. Your backup quarterback. You don't want to hear them. You know that they're there, and you don't get that with Shedeur Sanders. So is he going to be a quality backup quarterback in a project? And a lot of teams certainly didn't want to deal with that.
Well, they didn't. And you look at it this way, a lot of teams didn't really need quarterback. Now, Pittsburgh, they're desperate, and they didn't take the guy. So it tells you something. And, look, I don't know. Shedeur Sanders may turn out to be a star in the NFL, but he's not off to a good start. That is for sure.
Chip on shoulder.
Could be. We'll see.
And being a fifth-round guy, everything that I mean, the prank call stuff, right? Jeff Ulbricht's lucky he still has a job. It'll be interesting to see what kind of discipline comes from that. His kid and the Falcons put it all on the kid, not on Jeff. I don't know if that's actual or protecting him, but it is one of those kind of bizarre situations, and it sucks for Shedeur to have to deal with that. But I appreciate Shedeur taking the high road, saying no biggie. Let's move on.
Well, and that's cool. The kid has apologized. He made it public. There's a statement out there apologizing. He all of that stuff is happening. But from what I understand, there were prank calls to others as well.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just the time that we kind of live in, and it sucks, believe me. I mean, because a moment like that when you're waiting for your dream to come true to play in the NFL, to get a prank call and somebody doing that to you, it sucks. And I'm not justifying it all, but Shedeur wasn't the only one.
No.
But everything gets magnified when you talk about Shedeur Sanders. And so that's why we're talking about this. Hopefully this will go to bed. The NFL is investigating, and we'll see what kind of discipline comes out of this.
Now, Sanders aside, Quinn Ewers, 7th round to Miami. That might be one of the bigger surprises. And you wonder why. Skill set seems to be there. Did he interview well? Was he a little too cocky and arrogant in some of his meetings? All of which are a possibility. But what an awful place for Quinn Ewers to actually end up. They've got Tua. They brought in Zach Wilson. And in the 7th round, you take Quinn. So his entire rookie contract wouldn't be as much as if he would have stayed another year in college, if he had hit the portal and stayed. You talk about betting on yourself and coming up empty. Quinn Ewers couldn't have, I don't think he could have found a more awful situation to go into where he at least has a chance to compete to be quarterback too.
Well, I think he's got a chance to compete for that. I mean, Zach Wilson hasn't exactly, thrilled anybody. So I think he's got an opportunity to do that. But look, I mean, anybody, and Jason, we talked about this. Quinn Ewers is a project at best. I mean, he's not a starting day one quarterback. He's just not. And he never blew anybody away. He's a good quarterback. He's talented. Very talented guy. But he to expect Quinn Ewers to go somewhere where he was going to be a day one starter, I think you're way over your skis.
I mean,
not you, anybody.
Well, and again, Dylan Gabriel goes in the 3rd round. Quinn Ewers goes in the 7th.
Well, he was the last quarterback taken of anybody. So you go down the list.
I mean, Graham Martz gets taken by the Houston Texans.
I didn't even know who that guy was.
Oh, dude.
We had to do some research. I had no clue.
I started at Wisconsin.
Wow.
Actually, I mean, forget all this high school stuff. Kid holds the record for most touchdown passes in the All-American Bowl through 5.
Yeah, there you go.
And in that same game, Spencer Rattler set the passing yardage record in the All-American Bowl.
Boy, and we know how well Spencer Rattler has done.
I mean, it's funny when you look at some of the quarterbacks that have played in that game and what they went on to do, and others are like, oh, yeah, pinnacle.
Uh-huh.
I was just stunned that Quinn went that far, and I do wonder if his interviews didn't go as well, because one of the knocks on Quinn Ewers when he was at high school at South Lake Carroll, even at Texas, he was cocky. It seemed like he was humbled some, but I mean, those interviews mean a lot. People,
they do.
I mean, again, very few people can turn on the tape and say, here, I'll let this do all my talking. I have no idea why Quinn Ewers fell as far as he did, because I thought he was projected 4th or 5th round.
Well, especially with a very light quarterback draft on top of that. And I think that's what Quinn was thinking. Come out now, it's not a good quarterback draft class, so I'll do well. But unfortunately for him, he ends up 7th, last quarterback taken in this year's draft. And, that's worked out pretty well for Brock Purdy. Although he wasn't the last pick, he wasn't Mr. Irrelevant, but last quarterback taken in this draft, who knows? Maybe it'll work out well for Quinn Ewers.
It's possible. And again, at some point, you wonder if you're in the 7th round, are you hoping nobody picks you? Because at least as an undrafted free agent, you can take the best offer and maybe go to a situation that you feel is a better fit for you. But I'm not seeing it in Miami for him right away, other than you're banking on Tua getting hurt. And maybe that's why Miami was looking at him. But even then, I look at him and think, does he really fit the system that they try to run down there in Miami?
Well, look, I mean, if you're going to go and be a backup somewhere, Miami's not a bad place to do that. So I don't think it's horrible. The dude's going to go to Miami and live. Now, I don't know if he's going to make enough money to live comfortably in Miami, but, Miami is Miami.
I don't know. For a guy that at one point in Quinn Ewers, that was the highest-rated quarterback ever coming out of high school, for him to turn into a 7th-round pick is stunning. For a guy that went to the college football playoffs 2 years in a row, it's stunning. And you wonder, because even Texas fans, and I'm guilty of this, I don't know that any of us really appreciated how great of a college quarterback Quinn Ewers was, because we all wanted to get to Arch quickly. So we didn't appreciate Quinn while he was there. Again, 2 trips to the playoffs, didn't win the big one. But, you think about what we saw from him at South Lake Carroll, what we saw from him at Texas, and that dude goes in the 7th round and a Dylan Gabriel goes in the 3rd? Make that make sense.
It makes no sense. Nothing in the draft, and you just don't know what teams are thinking, right? What are they thinking? What'd you do to rub them wrong? And all of this kind of stuff. So, look, Miami, it's not a bad spot. And Tua, not exactly a guy that stays on the field a lot. I hope he does. I don't want anybody to have concussions that way, but he ought to be able to beat out Zach Wilson, right? And nothing else, I'd hang out with Zach. Apparently there's some hot moms running around he could hang with.
I mean, in Miami, sure. I'm just wondering where he's going to go hunting. I mean, he might have to go up to Georgia to add to his collection. That was one of the stranger.
Are we still talking about hot moms or?
Yeah.
Oh, or animals. I didn't know where you went there. That was a weird room. I'm going to tell you that. Can you imagine stumbling in there in the dark and not knowing you're a guest and you're going, damn, where'd I end up? Holy cow.
Yeah, you got that song, Somebody's Watching Me, playing in the back of your head.
After a couple of drinks, those animals start talking to you.
Joe should go hunting some point.
I have no issues with hunting. That was just a lot. That was a lot.
Tyler Booker has a turtle.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Cowboys first-round pick, T-Book, will join us next here live on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. It's fiesta time, too. None of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. You want to get out of jail fast because, of course you do. You know the best thing to do is to call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. You can text the word bail to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential, open 24/7, offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. If you're down in Corpus, up in Dallas, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Huddle, we roll through Fiesta. Hopefully, Rob and I show up at least somewhat sober.
We're getting to the closeout season, all first-round playoffs. We'll catch you up on everything. Shake the Coscaroni dust out of your ears. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Guys over 40, tired of low energy, just not feeling like yourself? Testosterone replacement therapy by Synergenics is the answer. Don't waste time waiting for online services when you can start today. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it is covered by most major insurance. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, see a medical provider, and feel great today. During April, the consultation is free. Why wait when you can be seen now? Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Feel like you again.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country, it all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Cinco de Mayo is near, and the celebration starts at Total Wine & More, your cocktail central. Whether you're shaking up fresh margaritas, sipping on a crisp cerveza, or savoring a smooth tequila, Total Wine is your fiesta celebration destination. So stop by your local Total Wine & More and make this Cinco de Mayo the best one yet. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire, or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-247-1146. 800-247-1146. Again, that's 800-247-1146.
Huh, Tyler?
I sure do. I love that song now.
Man, it's going to be your theme song, I think, from here on out, right?
I think it should be. I think it deserves to be at this point.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, Tyler, first of all, congratulations, my friend. You've just got to be thrilled. What have the days been like since you were drafted?
Oh, nothing but a dream, you know. So I'm out there the whole time in Green Bay, and then, man, I'm there with my family. I'm there with my girlfriend. I'm there with my barber, who's essentially my cousin, my childhood trainer. So I'm spending a week with them. Then I fly to Dallas, just spend some time with the people in that building, the great people in that building. Then I find my way into a Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert. And then I just came home last night and I had a little draft celebration with my friends and family. So this is definitely like one of the best weekends of my life, for sure.
I can imagine. So where's home for you, actually? Where are you calling us from right now?
I'm calling you guys from Hartford, Connecticut, but I'm from New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay. So
I'm in the airport headed back to Tuscaloosa now.
Okay, and then because you got to get back to Dallas because, like, rookie minicamp's pretty – it's been a whirlwind for you, huh?
No, yeah, we're rookie minicamp. I'll get back to Dallas on Thursday, and that's when the work starts, and that's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I would think so, Tyler. Being drafted, and I know you've had a little bit of a break since the college season ended, but to get to work as a pro now, that's got an exciting ring to it.
No, it's very exciting, and I was talking about it with my parents and the rest of my family. Like, this has been the most awkward spring for me in a while because this is the first spring in 7 years where I haven't been playing football, where I haven't had pads on, literally. So I just feel all out of sorts and all out of whack. So I just can't wait to get back in the routine and get back to work and doing what I love, and that's playing football.
Tyler Booker joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. When you go back and you think about the draft process, I know a lot of mocks had the Cowboys taking a wide receiver or something at number 12. Your reaction was so pure, so genuine. When did you know or think that you were going to become a member of the Dallas Cowboys?
I had a good idea once some other wide receivers were off the board, because I knew that was a need going into it. Just talking with my agent and seeing how the board worked out, and just hearing that it was between me and another player. And once that other player went, as soon as he went, I was like, oh man, like I think I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboy. And just sitting there waiting for that call and getting that call eventually, it was really a dream come true. I love Dallas.
So
I fell in love with the city when I was down there combine training. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, was that call from Jerry Jones?
Yes, it was. It was.
What was it like talking to Jerry Jones?
It was great. It was a little brief because he sent me over to Coach Shoddy and then Coach Adams as well. So it was great to talk to all of them. But he was fired up to have me. He told me that they were picking me and told me congratulations. So it's really a dream come true. And just growing up as a football fan, you watch all these draft announcements and watch all these draft phone calls. You always wonder how yours are going to go. And mine went better than I ever thought it could.
I can't imagine you could even hear with all the noise, all the celebration. Are you glad they at least record that so you can watch it later? Do you actually remember most of it live?
I do remember most of it live, and I've been watching it a lot. Like it's a real moment for me. Like I watch it every now and then to make sure that it was real.
Yeah, I would have that thing on a loop, I think, right? And just play it over and over and over again, no doubt. Well, Tyler, I've got to ask you, did you get a chance to talk to Dak Prescott?
I did get a chance to talk to Dak, and what we mostly talked about was just getting better, me learning from him and me learning all together, and then going to and then winning championships.
So he just wants to stay upright, right?
Oh yeah, I think everybody in Dallas wants it like that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, and Tyler, you look at the situation you're coming into. The Great Wall of Tyler. I mean, everybody on the offensive line is named Tyler. You're going to be the rookie in the room. So there's a breakfast sandwich place that I believe all the boys like to eat at. You're going to be responsible for that. But also the nicknames. Now, I know you said the other day, T-Book, Book, whatever they want to call you, but are you worried some of the veteran guys might give you a nickname maybe you won't be as thrilled with?
I'm not too worried, and I know some stuff comes along with being a rookie, and I'll just take it in stride, and I'm just very excited to learn and work with those guys.
Well, when you look at the offensive line, and obviously the Cowboys have had a pretty good history of drafting offensive linemen, and you could step in the shoes of a future Hall of Famer. Do you worry about that? Is there the expectation? Because obviously Zach Martin was one hell of an offensive lineman. Is that put any added pressure on you?
No, I really don't feel any added pressure because for 21 years of my life, I've been Tyler Booker, and I'm going to continue to be Tyler Booker. And with that being said, I'm definitely going to learn from Zach Martin. I hope to build a relationship with him in the future, and I really want to continue and further the legacy of great offensive linemen for the Dallas Cowboys. But I know that if I go in there trying to be Zach Martin, I'll be doing me and the organization a disservice. So I'm just going to go in there and be Tyler Booker.
Couldn't have said that better myself. Well said. Tyler Booker here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. We got to get to know you a little bit better, Tyler. So you're from Connecticut. You played your college ball at Alabama. And you're coming to Texas now. Great barbecue steak, great Mexican food, and I imagine you eat a lot. Just judging, right? do you have some favorites yet of places or certain things that you just want to try that you're going to be able to get in Texas that maybe you can't get in Connecticut?
Oh, well, I've already fell in love with Hutchins. Like, that's my spot, man. So I actually had Hutchins a few times while being in Dallas for, like, last night and this past combine training session. And I would tell my family about it all the time. They're like, yeah, we'll see. And they had Hutchins for the first time this weekend. That's the quietest my mom and sister have ever been during a meal. So
that's
I think
hilarious.
It's that they fell in love with Hutchins too.
Now you're going brisket, beef rib, pork rib. I mean, what's the menu option there for Tyler Booker?
So this past weekend, somebody put me onto the chicken. So obviously, like the beef rib is mandatory. Beef rib is mandatory. You got to go beef rib, and then I went beef rib and chicken, the smoked chicken. And the smoked chicken really surprised me because, like, my mindset when it comes to chicken, like, you could get good chicken at more places than you could get good barbecue at most places. So I was like, all right, why would I try chicken? I'll get good chicken somewhere else. But I tried the chicken at Hutchins, and it was like, it just shows you how they dominate all facets of the game.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you found your place, Tyler. That's good. That sounds like, and just you're close to your family. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah. And so, big family guy, huh?
Yes, big family guy. I love my family.
So I would imagine they're going to be a big part of you watching you play football there at Jerry World, huh?
Oh yeah, they are. They love coming to see me play, and those are like some of the most fun weekends I ever have. Like being able to play a football game and embrace your family afterwards. Like my family has always made it a point to come to my games and see me play whenever possible. So like this past year at Alabama, I think my family were at if not a majority of my games.
It's incredible. And again, the family environment I know they have there in Dallas in most programs, pretty incredible. But you talk about your family, we got to talk about pets. Are you surprised your turtle has gotten as much attention as it has?
I am. I'm really surprised. Like I didn't think people would care that much. It's just like I love Trina. I think she's amazing. But I'm glad everybody else in the world thinks she's amazing as well.
Well, I've got to ask him. My daughter's 26. Not really the biggest football fan. She's going to Arizona State. She texts me and is like, I need to know more about Trina. I'm like, who's Trina? She's like, his reptile. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, tell me more about Trina. I got to answer to the kid.
Trina's very active, and Trina has a personality. Like you walk up past the terrarium, her enclosure, she'll swim up to you. She'll like spin it. It's funny, but like whenever you try to like go and grab her, she's still a little shy because she's about 4 months now, but she's starting to warm up to me. Like so, she'll swim up to me like when I like reach to go pick her up and get her out of the enclosure. But like whenever you just look at her, she's very fascinated with people. Like my friends will come by, she'll just be like, she'll go anywhere to watch them. Like she'll track them. It's really funny.
Well, Tyler, how in the world did you get in with turtles? I mean, did you always like turtles, or is this something new?
This is honestly something new. I honestly I was just watching TikTok and I saw somebody have a pet turtle. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I want to get a pet turtle, so I got one.
Nice.
Yeah, if you go on reptile, that's so much better than a snake or a bearded dragon. I mean, turtles. Besides, what all do you do with them?
You just watch them grow. And I hear so many stories about snakes. Like, oh yeah, my snake got out and it was lost in my house for 2 weeks. Like, how do you sleep? How do you sleep with a snake on the loose in your house? Like,
you don't.
That's insane to me.
You don't. Nah. Yeah, I don't like snakes, Tyler.
Insane.
I don't know about you, but I'm not a snake fan, so I don't like them at all.
Neither am I.
Look, I got a knucklehead question for you. And, Jason and I do the show Monday through Friday, and we talk about, you watch quarterbacks and you know that they had a good day or a bad day. You watch a running back or a wide receiver. Tell me, when we watch you on Sunday in that Cowboys uniform, how are we going to know Tyler Booker had a good day? How do you judge an offensive lineman?
I judge the offensive lineman by how the quarterback's jersey looks at the end of the day, how his uniform looks at the end of the day. If it's clean, it's safe to say that they had a solid day, and then you grade from then on out. Then you look at the rushing yards, and then you look at how many knockdowns they had. But it all starts with keeping the quarterback off the ground, and that's where it starts, and that's the most important thing. Make sure that Dak is back there, has enough time to throw and do what he does best.
Well, and I know most say run blocking. Do you prefer run blocking or pass blocking?
I definitely prefer run blocking, but I know that football is a complementary game. Like if you're run dominant, then they're just gonna pack the box, and then they're gonna force you to throw the ball. So I know that if you present pass enough, and they're thinking about, oh man, we gotta put an extra DB on the field. That's another small guy for one of us to pick on and run the ball at. Like we're gonna run the ball on that fifth defensive back that you have on the field to make you put that linebacker out there. And then we're gonna throw it over the linebacker's head. Like football is a game of chess. Like it's a very physical game, but it's just as, if not more, mental than it is physical.
All right, Tyler, I got to ask you, I think one of the favorite things that I've heard you say since you were drafted by the Cowboys is you like to make other players hate the game of football or make their life miserable, something to that effect. What's the saying there? What is it you like to do to your competition?
Yeah, I like to take the level of the game away from them, and I do that by just being Tyler Booker, play after play, being ruthless, violent, physical, nasty, dominant, and just letting you know about it the whole entire game and being relentless with that. So, like 4 quarters, you're going to get Tyler Booker.
I cannot wait. When you look around the NFC East and you think about some of the defensive linemen that you're going to go against. Now, granted, you're coming from Alabama. You've already gone against a lot of these guys. Is there one or two that you look forward to going up against, maybe more so than somebody else?
Man, I'm just excited to compete in that great conference. Like if I were to name one and lead one off, then that's giving somebody billboard material. So I'm just really, really excited to go against whoever I see this season. And being in this division, I know there's a ton of great defensive linemen, and I'm excited to go against them all.
Now, did you have a favorite pro team growing up, Tyler?
I did. I was a Steelers fan growing up, unfortunately.
You answered that correctly,
that was
man.
Perfect, yeah.
Because you would not look good in yellow pants, my friend.
No, I don't know. I don't think anybody does now.
See, you've been a Cowboy for a couple of days, and it already makes sense, man.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait to get to meet you in person when we're out in Oxnard at Cowboys training camp. I just got to say, though, as a tall 5'7", man, your comment about beating up on the little guys, man, let those guys run free.
Now, where's the fun in that?
Exactly. Another great answer. That's perfect.
See, that's the thing. That little corner is going to see Tyler coming to block him on, like he's pulling, and that guy's going to, pull a Oleg. He ain't going to get in your way.
I guarantee that's what I would do.
Exactly. Tyler, I know you've got a lot going on. The fact that you made time yesterday, we were going to do this on Friday, but obviously the schedule was messed up. You went home. You're back in Connecticut. But you wanted to keep the commitment, man, and you called right on time.
Of course.
We appreciate
great start. I can't tell you how much we appreciate that, my friend.
I appreciate y'all, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in California.
Appreciate it. Tyler Booker, appreciate you, man. On the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. And It's true because, he gets basically 3 days to go home, get all his stuff in order, and move to Dallas.
Right.
And still wanted to do this.
Well, he's got to make a stop in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, he's got to go get Trina.
Get his stuff there and then head to Dallas and get ready. They have rookie mini camp. I believe it begins Thursday or Friday of this week.
I think Friday, but
yeah.
they've got to report Thursday. Fred, he is wearing 52 is his jersey number. Fred on our YouTube is asking what jersey is he going to wear. I got to get his jersey. And look, this dude was a Steeler fan, not anymore, talking trash about them. That's a plus. Loves good barbecue.
Likes to hit little guys. That's good.
Yeah. He's fun.
Yes.
He's going to be a great addition to that room.
I think so, too. And you look at the number one pick. Obviously, I was disappointed. I wanted Ted McMillan, but when you see this guy, when you hear him, when you listen to him talk about his love for football and the competitor that he is, I think the Cowboys made a wise pick here.
Well, and again, you look at what the Cowboys did. And I know we all wanted a wide receiver. We're sitting at Rue Pub the other night. You were mad.
I was.
When McMillan went. But the Cowboys stayed true to their board. They stayed true to their board, and they built this team to dominate the trenches. It would be Steven, too.
I think the game's won in the trenches. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a big man's game. Jerry always likes to say it should be a different sport. If you're playing there in the trenches, offensive, defensive line, it's a whole lot different kind of work than it is if you're a quarterback, running back, DB. Different world. And, I think that's where the games are won and lost. And, we've got a division that is, we have a lot of good teams in our division, and they're strong on their fronts, and we gotta keep up with that and have the answers. And so, I think that just to me it points to the fact that we stress that it's important to have a strong offensive line and a strong defensive line, and we'll continue with that, and we want to get it right. We had a tough year last year with some injuries, that bit us a little bit, and so you can't have enough of them. And that's why we continue and will continue to pick guys in the fronts.
And look, and again, they've been good at doing that. They've got obviously some good players, a couple of guys that will be in the Hall of Fame here pretty soon that just retired.
Yep.
And you think about that middle. When you add a guy like Tyler Booker, Tyler Smith, and Cooper Beebe, that middle looks pretty solid.
The middle looks solid. And, with Guyton, if he comes around and is better in year two, which, even Tyler Smith got so much better in year two. If Terrence Steele can get back to what he was. And then you look at a Brock Hoffman who, will be back up in a backup role, but he played solid last year. That's part of the reason I was a little surprised. I thought Brock Hoffman played well enough last year to where they could go receiver early and not worry about the offensive line, but they got better. And as Stephen Jones said, they stuck to their board.
The only thing I'd add is that, the acclimation, the recalibration, I think all that happened, in the first 3 weeks, when we were trying to make sure we had our hands around, exactly what we're trying to get accomplished on offense and defense and the type of personnel that, that Shotty and his staff wanted. And, once you had that, down and felt good about it, then you could obviously put your board up the right way. Took maybe a little longer to get the board up because we were, massaging it really well. But once we got that board up, I would say I didn't notice a ton of difference. And, the best thing, I think we may have done it better than we have ever done it, is stick to it. And there were opportunities there where we had to go away from needs and just take the best player. And then, at some points there were opportunities where we were able to, scratch the itch and get the need. So I think it all came together well and worked out good for us to where, we really feel like we got a good group of players here, and obviously massaged it a little bit, moved around a little bit, but overall we feel really good about it.
And they should. They really should. On paper, as I look at the draft picks, it's a solid draft. There's no doubt about it. And I know Jerry was just ecstatic that they got Ravel Jr. out of East Carolina, the cornerback, and that's a guy he had talked about. And I think he's going to be a hell of a player. Now, East Carolina, you come to the NFL, there may be a little bit of a learning curve, maybe not. Then you get a Jaden Blue who's a playmaker. You wanted playmakers, and this guy can come in as a change of pace guy and catch the ball out of the backfield. And so, to me, that was a good pick. And then some of these other guys, honestly, I don't know a whole lot about. I know Shamir James, solid player, solid linebacker at Florida. So we'll see. And, again, on paper, I think this draft is solid.
Now, obviously, you won't really know for several years, but the draft grades of an A consistently for the Dallas Cowboys. And even though when you look at what they did versus what you thought they were going to do, and the draft experts are still giving them an A, and not a lot of teams get A's, depending on where you're going, 4, 5, 6 at the most are getting A grades. Cowboys do draft well historically.
Yep.
But can they turn this into a great football team? And that begs the question, but this draft feels like they went more in building a team, drafting quality players as just assembling a lot of talent that we'll see if they fit and work out.
Well, and you wonder, having said that, you wonder if this is a 2-year, 3-year project that Schottenheimer has started. Not to say that they can't win right away. That's not what I'm saying. But, I mean, if you're looking at this down the road and you're building a team, year 2, year 3 of this rebuild, which I guess in a way it is, who knows?
Can you rebuild with the most expensive quarterback?
Well, no, not entirely. But with drafts like this, and if half of them work out okay, then you've won.
That's percentages.
Yep.
That's what you're looking for. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. You can always comment there. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. James Pledger, our producer, being overly crafty today. At 3:11, set your clocks. It's 2:57. At 3:11, we're giving away tickets to go see 3:11. They're playing at the 713 Music Hall down in Houston. You want a road trip to Houston to go see 3:11, make sure you're listening at 3:11. Imagine we'll probably play some 3:11 music and just call now when you hear it. Overly creative.
Yes.
What we're doing today.
Yeah, that was.
We're not doing it at 3:10 or 3:12.
That was the first for me.
What's that?
Seeing that up on the big board there, and it's at 3:11.
Oh,
we're giving away 3:11.
Pledge has been working on this for at least 3 or 11 minutes. I'm not really sure. But at 3:11, your chance to win 3:11 tickets. I'm not going to say anything. Just be caller 11 when you hear music from 3:11 at 3:11. Not 3:09, not 3:12, but 3:11.
Riding home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
My name is John Clay Wolf. I'm the founder of GimmeTheVin.com. Every month, for the next 10 months, everyone that sells us their car to GimmeTheVin.com will get put in a drawing for a $25,000 winner. We're going to pull one of you out of a hat, and somebody's going to win $25,000. So we're paying more, and you might win $25,000. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's Best Car Buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. This Tuesday, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Here in Texas, we know that trust is earned and reputation matters. Since 1993, Thomas J. Henry dedicated himself to building a firm that injured clients can trust and that Texans can respect. A firm where no defendant is too big and no case is too small. Backed by a track record of success and a commitment to our clients. Thomas J. Henry remains the name you can depend on if you have been injured. Trust the firm that stands for you. Trust Thomas J. Henry. San Antonio, Texas.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Cinco de Mayo is near, and the celebration starts at Total Wine & More, your cocktail central. Whether you're shaking up fresh margaritas, sipping on a crisp cerveza, or savoring a smooth tequila, Total Wine is your fiesta celebration destination. So stop by your local Total Wine & More and make this Cinco de Mayo the best one yet. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Barbecue season is back.
Hey, it's Ellen. And this is Sarah Beth. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the news of the day is bad news for the Milwaukee Bucks. Guard Damian Lillard tore his Achilles in last night's loss to the Indiana Pacers. Bucks trail in that series 3-1. There is basketball tonight, playoff style. Cavs going for the sweep against the Heat at 6:30. Then at 9 o'clock, the Warriors take on the Rockets in San Francisco. Golden State leads that best-of-7 set 2-1.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, a San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Howdy.
Howdy.
And happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend, everybody.
Howdy.
I did. Kind of a chill weekend, I guess. Kind of.
Kind of?
Yeah. I had to get out of the house Saturday afternoon. because Maggie threw our daughter a baby shower.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the hell out of there.
Then you had a wedding, right?
Then I had a wedding to go to on Saturday night. Very, very nice wedding. It's a wedding. I didn't know anybody there. It was really all Maggie and our daughter Courtney's old friends from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But, they're all very nice people, and food was good, and they had drinks, and so I was good.
So you had an open bar and free food?
Yes.
Yeah, there ain't no complaining there.
No complaint. First time I've worn a suit and tie in a long time.
You had to go tie?
I had to go tie.
Were you made to go tie?
Yeah. Well, I was told that was the dress code. So.
How many dudes were there with not a tie on?
There were a couple.
All right.
Yeah, there were a couple, but it wasn't me. I had the tie. Forgot what that was like. I almost forgot how to tie the damn thing.
What's that whip sound effect? The sport coat and collar shirt would have been just fine.
Well, it probably would have been, but,
all of a sudden you're dressed up like Anchorman.
It was a tie day.
Mm-hmm.
Good time. Good wedding. Nice young kids that got married.
Uh-huh.
So it was good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Did Disturbed on Friday?
Uh-huh.
Lincoln Park on Saturday night up in Austin.
Well, wait. Let's go back to Disturbed on Friday. How was the backup singer for Nothing More?
Filling guy named Brandon. He did really good.
Yeah?
And it is strange watching a band with a different singer.
Uh-huh.
Like tonight in Oklahoma City, Nothing More has to go. They're going with a female singer.
Oh, wow.
So it's very different. But this guy crushed it. He did a really solid job considering he had less than 24 hours to learn all the music in the entire set.
Did he sing the songs the right way?
He did sing the songs the right way.
That's all that matters.
See,
if that guy for Journey will ever figure that out, he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, well, it's a possibility. I mean, speaking of Eclipse, we'll give away tickets to that at 4 o'clock or in the 4 o'clock hour.
Well, I bet they sing the songs
3:11
right.
Tickets coming up at 3:11. But then I went and saw Lincoln Park on Saturday night up in Austin.
Uh-huh.
My wife had no idea she wanted 2 rock and roll shows for her birthday, but that's what she got.
Yeah.
When Lincoln Park, there was rumblings that they were coming back with a new singer. I wanted to hate it. I really did want to hate it because R.I.P. Chester, right? Then I saw some of the videos with Emily Armstrong, and I was like, well, she's good. This is good. And even, a buddy of mine posted on my Facebook, aren't they basically a cover band now? However you want to couch it, but she sounds good and you get to hear the music. If she sounded awful or if they got somebody that looked or sounded just like Chester, kind of like what Journey did, you would hate it, right? They were great. Lincoln Park was phenomenal.
Let's tell all the other people, right? It's just the singer?
Well, the singer and the drummer. The drummer opted not to come back. He's still doing some stuff with them, but not touring.
All right.
So a new singer and a new drummer. And again, you could switch out a drummer as much as that sucks. A guitar player you could switch out. It is so hard to switch out the lead singer because that's kind of the identity of the band.
It is.
Lincoln Park nailed it with Emily Armstrong, especially because first I heard rumblings that they might go with Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm, which I think would be awesome. But, she's got her own gig. Not near as big as Lincoln Park, but it was a hell of a show.
That's great.
Hell of a show.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good times. Then we went to a place called Herbert's in San Marcos for lunch on Sunday.
Oh, I know you had a good lunch then.
Yeah.
Dude, the best Mexican food there is
I know.
In the great state of Texas.
We're driving back, and we're going straight from Austin to the Brahmas game and hungry. And John is like, where's that place? I don't know. Text Joe and ask him.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Solid recommendation.
Absolutely.
Far better than the Brahmas football game, I can tell you that.
Not good.
Not good at all.
No.
Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
Speaking of the UFL, Puka Nakua's brothers, they play, and this happened in the Michigan game. Puka Nakua's brother slapped a fan at the game over the weekend.
Dude, you've seen the video.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the craziest damn video. He's arguing with a fan who's just kind of leaning over the rail, and I don't know what his brother's name is. Mr. Nakua just
the other Nakua.
He slapped him. He slapped him.
Dude, at some point, I'm guessing that guy said something that crossed the line.
Well, maybe. He could have. But, I mean, I would assume he's going to get in trouble. The UFL is investigating this. I mean, you can't do that. Slap some dude?
No, dude's going to – you've got to restrain yourself. Although you see it sometimes with the NBA and fans get close. And that's one thing – with the UFL, fans are right there, and they say things. And as a player, you've got to be able to take it. You can't make contact.
Well, I mean, in the fan may have been a real donkey, but there's a big football field. He could have just walked away and never even seen that fan again. And who gives a damn? And now I'm afraid this guy's going to get in trouble for this. I mean, I don't see how the UFL lets something like that go unpunished.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's suspended for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Yeah,
because you cannot have a player, no matter what was said, other ways to do it. Part about being a football player is controlling your emotions.
Yep.
And that guy clearly did not do that.
He didn't do it.
It must be 311.
What's that?
Look at that. You want to go see 311 at the 713 Music Hall down in Houston? Be caller number 11 right now, and you're going to win a pair of tickets. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Show is next Friday down in Houston. If you don't win them, buy them at livenation.com. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. NBA playoffs. I had a busy weekend. Didn't watch a lot. Got home last night, and I was kind of like Charles Barkley watching that late game last night.
Bored?
Yeah.
Chuck was bored.
Two of them have been by the Indiana Pacers over Milwaukee.
Sleepy baby.
Yeah.
Sleep nights, man.
I'm bored, brother. I ain't going to even lie. That wasn't even worth watching. And hockey's over for the night, too?
Oh, no. Right? Hockey's on right over here.
Oh, okay. Well, that should keep you up for a while.
Yeah.
All right.
Bored, Chuck.
Yeah, that was,
because last night was incredible with the Clippers.
This afternoon,
both games were incredible. And that was the first game tonight was actually pretty good. But this thing escalated quickly. It was over early.
Early.
Yeah,
it was. Those two games in the afternoon were phenomenal. They really were. But I think we saw J.J. Redick's inexperience coming through.
The fact that his starters played the entire second half with no break, and you could tell Luka was out of gas. That's coaching mismanagement.
Mm-hmm.
Nico Harrison was probably smiling somewhere saying, I told you so. He's out of shape.
Yeah, he's out of shape. He only played 42 minutes or whatever the hell.
Yeah, but the dude was out of gas.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick, not out of gas, not by any stretch of the imagination. I want to say it was Dan Graziano this morning on Get Up who had, I don't know, a funny line because he said, the Shedeur Sanders stuff wasn't the weirdest thing I saw over the weekend. It was the Bill Belichick interview on 60 Minutes.
The other change for Belichick is 24-year-old Jordan Hudson, his creative muse, as he writes in his book.
Make sure that's the...
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this. No.
No. Wow.
No, it was odd.
We're not talking about. Holy cow.
During a 60 Minutes interview.
I know.
Where they're supposed to talk about everything.
Bill Belichick, he's got this persona as a, what's he called? Bad News Billy.
Yeah.
And he's just, my goodness, but yet the little 24-year-old obviously wearing those slacks.
I was the guy. I was the Turk. I was Bad News Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Not in your family there, Billy.
Jordan calls the shots.
She obviously does.
Now, granted, all of us that have been married a long time, we understand what Bill's going through.
Well,
you
a little different.
You wore a tie
Bill.
the other night to a wedding because you were told to.
Well, I was.
Yes.
We're
all whipped
because that was the dress code. That's what I was told. So that's how we got around that, I suppose.
No, you could have said, I'm not wearing a tie. I'm just going to wear a sport coat and
I
look
could have
just
said
fine.
that,
Yeah.
but then what if I'd have been the only guy without a tie and I looked like a donkey?
Do you care what other people think?
I do, yes.
Do you?
I do.
They got that. You haven't shaved yet, man. Clearly you don't. If your wife likes it, if she tells you that, because all of us that have been married a long time understand. Yes, dear.
Yes,
yes, dear.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Well, it helps, right? And especially if you've got a high-powered 24-year-old girlfriend who...
Yes, dear.
It must be pretty good. Good for Bill.
Yeah.
What does Bill just sit there? Yes, honey. Whatever. Holy cow.
Yeah, timing is everything. We don't get to tell you about Synergenics for another 15 minutes, but it would certainly fit perfectly right here. Woo! Let's talk some NBA playoffs coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom! That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Cool. Oh, hi. Welcome to IKEA. How can I help? Isn't this the parking lot of my daughter's ballet class?
It sure is, but I see you're on IKEA.com ordering some spring items.
Yeah, I'm hosting a barbecue this week. I completely forgot I need everything.
With delivery or pickup options, we've got what you need to conveniently order IKEA literally anywhere.
Convenient. Wait, where are you going?
The next car over just placed an IKEA order too. Busy morning.
You're amazing.
Get IKEA whenever, wherever, however you want. Order from IKEA online and get affordable delivery or choose from thousands of pickup locations.
Cinco de Mayo is near, and the celebration starts at Total Wine & More, your cocktail central. Whether you're shaking up fresh margaritas, sipping on a crisp cerveza, or savoring a smooth tequila, Total Wine is your fiesta celebration destination. So stop by your local Total Wine & More and make this Cinco de Mayo the best one yet. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Munix. On Thursday, the Blitz is going to be live at a Taste of the North Side over at the Rocket Lock Ontario.
That's going to be fun. Always fun.
My favorite Fiesta event.
Man.
You want to save money on your Taste of the North Side tickets? Blitz 50 is a promo code. It'll save you $50 a ticket.
Nice. Very nice.
All proceeds benefit the Brighton Center. Going to be a new location this year. Cannot wait to be out at Taste of the North Side. You know, it's weird because the Disturb show on Friday and then going to Austin Saturday. I haven't done one Fiesta event yet.
No, I haven't either, actually.
Went to the Brahmas game yesterday, and I saw the carnival in the parking lot. And then we had talked about maybe leaving when we left the game, we tried to go to Taste of New Orleans, but we didn't. Tired. I wanted to go home.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if we venture out this week. I don't know. I guess
Nyosa starts tomorrow.
The morning boys went to Oyster Bake, I think, didn't they?
Yes. That's a Rob Thompson.
He likes that, huh?
Got to.
All right.
Got to. And I guess he's dragging AJ everywhere he goes.
Sure.
What's going on tonight, Fiesta-wise?
I have no idea. No clue.
I was really asking Pledge because I know you have no idea.
I have no idea.
It's my wife's birthday. We're going to dinner.
Yeah.
So non-Fiesta. Tomorrow's Nyosa. May or may not. Either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Well, maybe.
Thursday.
Could be.
Taste of the North Side.
Taste of the North Side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, Battle of Flowers is Friday, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then the River Parade, have they already had that, or is that Saturday night? It's tonight.
The River Parade is tonight?
The River Parade's tonight. Okay.
Texas Cavaliers River Parade.
All right. Okay. Well, you can count on your information. We're your Fiesta station right here on the Blitz.
Yeah, that's not true. That's not true.
Obviously, that was a little sarcasm there.
You think?
Yes.
I figure if you know, you probably already have plans.
Pretty good DJ voice there, though, don't you think?
No, not really.
No? Next on the main stage, Candy Lee.
Candy Lee.
Mm-hmm. Why is it you always go to the strip club DJ voice?
I don't know, because I always secretly wanted to be a strip club DJ.
Did you really?
When I first wanted to get in this business, I thought that'd be a great way to start, right?
That's not creepy at all, Joe.
Strip club DJ?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think that would have been a fun job to have. You can watch and you don't have to tip.
You get tipped.
But there you go.
Those strip club DJs make a lot of money.
Well, there you go.
Yes. And if there's, I had a friend that did this for a while, and he would get good money, but sometimes they would pay you for shorter songs. And if there's one that you didn't like, you would find a longer song to throw on there, one that's 4 or 5 minutes long.
Oh, well, I get it. So guys would come up if they didn't like the dancer, or if they did, pay you however.
Well, not guys. The dancers tip for the songs that they want.
Oh, the dancers would tip. I got you. Okay, all right.
Yes.
All right, because I don't ever remember tipping in the DJ.
No, you never see the DJ.
No.
You know, it's not the main attraction at the strip club.
Uh-huh. No, it's not.
But
although you could hear him. Next on the main stage, boom, chicka wow wow.
Candy Lee.
Candy Lee.
And that's our NBA playoff segment. The Spurs will eventually be good again. Dame Lillard, maybe not.
Boy, that guy.
Torn Achilles.
Yep. That's a year. So, I mean, he could conceivably miss the entire next season.
You wonder what that means for Giannis and his future. There was already some questions about it, even though he's always said he wants to stay there. But they don't have picks. They're maxed out. You wonder if he'll force his way out.
Well, they need to trade him just to get back on solid ground, and that's the only piece you really have to deal with. And I think he would bring a high price, especially if you're talking about sending him to New York or L.A. or whatever you want to do. But, yeah, I think they're going to be forced to do that.
It's in watching Damon, you knew it immediately. He knew it immediately. Just, yeah, sucks for Dame.
That really does.
Lakers are in trouble. They're down 3-1. I didn't see any of the game yesterday, but I will say this, though. The coverage of it feels so wrong. Why are we not talking more about what Anthony Edwards is doing? I know it's LeBron and I know it's Luka, but Anthony Edwards is dominating.
This guy is incredible. I mean, he's put on a show in this series, and it's been fun to watch, quite frankly. And you know, yeah, you're right. You talk about James and Luka. Ant says, "Hey, remember me?" And he's putting on a show there, and it looks like they're going to end up beating the Lakers. I mean, it's 3-1. It's obviously not over, but Lakers in a must-win situation now, the true definition of a must-win situation. But I think J.J. Redick, it's a couple of things. I think his rookie head coaching stuff is showing, right? I don't think he's running this right. And the fact that he just doesn't trust anybody else on his team. He's got 6 guys playing the majority of minutes. And yesterday, 46 for Luka, 46 for LeBron. Last time I checked, LeBron is, 41?
Yeah, but LeBron looked like he was fine at the end. Luka looked completely gassed. And I know JJ tried to explain it like he had timeouts. He asked guys if they needed a breather. I don't know. If Luka says, yeah, boss, I need to sit down for a couple minutes, we would rip that guy, right? As a coach, you have to see that and just make the sub and deal with 2 or 3 minutes just to get him some energy, because completely gassed at the end with the different highlights I saw. And then same with the Knicks Pistons. The officials, a big part of this one.
A huge part of this one.
There's contact on Tim Hardaway's jump shot. I don't know any other way around it. There's contact on his jump shot. The guy leaves his feet. He's at Timmy's mercy. And I repeat, there's contact on his jump shot.
Look, I know that the officials don't want free throws to decide a game. But Tim Hardaway Jr. was mugged in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just obvious. He was mugged in the corner, and they didn't call it. And, I mean, at some point, and then can we do away with the last 2 minute thing? Because that just pisses me off even more.
You don't feel better knowing they say, yep, we got that one wrong?
No, it doesn't help me at all.
It's transparency, sir.
The Detroit Pistons, their losing streak in playoff games at home continues, by the way. They finally snapped the playoff losing streak, but they did that on the road. So, look, it's been a great series. It really has, and Detroit has got a good team. Cade Cunningham is something else, although I will say he took some shots at the end that could have been the difference makers, and he missed them. And if you're the star you got to make those shots, and that's how you become an even bigger star, and he didn't do it. But that no call at the end, and I thought Bickerstaff was going to have a coronary, man.
Yeah.
That dude comes out on the floor, and people are getting out of his way, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him, because it was an egregious foul. It wasn't just like, well, maybe it was, maybe it was. No, the guy got mugged, completely mugged in the corner, and there was no call.
Cleveland at Miami tonight. Cavs going for the sweep. Houston and Golden State. Game tonight. Now, Jimmy Butler, technically a game-time decision, but according to Shams, all signs pointing that Jimmy Butler will play tonight.
That makes a hell of a difference for Golden State. There's no doubt about it. So,
the NFL draft in the books. Let's talk about it coming up. Our good friend Ross Tucker will join us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Guys over 40, you need to know this website, fixmylowt.com. That's where you need to go if you've been running out of energy or getting tired easily. You need Synergenics. They're all about helping men feel their best with TRT, otherwise known as testosterone replacement therapy. Now, Synergenics has clinics all over San Antonio, very convenient locations where you can walk in, see a real medical provider, and get started. It is simple, no hassle. Guys love Synergenics because treatment plans are made just for you. I'm sure you've seen online TRT services that you got to wait on. You got to wait for test kits, lab results, meds. Nobody wants to wait. Walk right into a Synergenics and get it done fast and in person, and it's customized to you. Personalized treatment is key because not all guys have the same testosterone levels. At Synergenics, their personalized therapy goes beyond standard treatments. They've been the go-to experts in TRT for well over a decade, and right now the consultation is free. Treatment is covered by most major insurance, so take advantage. It's a super affordable way to check your testosterone levels and change your life for the better. So if you're feeling off, don't wait. Synergenics helps men like you get back to feeling full of energy and ready to take on anything. And if you're struggling to lose a few pounds, they can take care of that with prescription weight loss treatment options. Take control of your health today. Go to fixmylowt.com to book your appointment. fixmylowt.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Huddle, we roll through Fiesta. Hopefully, Rob and I show up at least somewhat sober.
We're getting to the closeout season. All first-round playoffs. We'll catch you up on everything. Shake the Coscaroni dust out of your ears. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Hey there, I'm Jack.
And I'm Stag.
We're just two deer that want to make sure you know it's deer season at your authorized John Deere dealer. The deer season that saves bucks. You know, like us.
Yeah, you can get $3,000 off select John Deere machines. No early wake-up calls or tree stands required.
Just a trip to your authorized dealer before June 2nd.
If you ask us, it's the only deer season worth celebrating.
Visit johndeere.com/deer season to find an authorized dealer and for complete finance details.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to get ready for the summer season with the Quarter Moon AC $58.99 preseason special. It's a real home run. You'll have your AC ready before the summer heat hits. We'll inspect your AC's indoor and outdoor coils, filters, temperature levels, and make sure you're ready for the summer heat, all just for $58.99. So when your AC is warming up, Quarter Moon comes in like a heavy hitter.
Hey, batter, I'm gonna give it some heat.
651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jay Semenix. Let's talk NFL Draft with our good friend Ross Tucker joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. You work for everybody, so you know where you can find old Ross Tucker. I mean, between your podcast, CBS, Westwood One, all the you're everywhere, Ross.
Listen, I wouldn't have to be everywhere if I was getting millions from San Antonio radio like you guys.
Well, yes.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I just had the one huge job thanks to the Barricade Company. I wouldn't have to have all these other jobs. But, no, it's fun. I mean, you guys know. I tell you every time, I'm just trying to avoid a real job as long as I possibly can. And if I can't get the Tom Brady contract with Fox, instead I'll just work for a bunch of different companies and try to piecemeal it together best I can.
Well, I'm surprised you haven't gotten that Tom Brady contract. You deserve it, my friend.
Oh, thank you, man. That's very nice of you to say. Guess what? That's never happening. If only I had won 7 Super Bowls as a starting quarterback, then I think I'd have a better chance.
Maybe, but I mean, you got enough to fill the beer fridge at this point and, have fun talking football. The idea, Ross, when you look at the draft, now, we're the Cowboys affiliate here in San Antonio in South Texas, and I look at the Cowboys draft, and I think they did a hell of a job, although it's not at all what I would have done if I were in those shoes. I wanted them to go get a wide receiver. I wanted them to take a running back higher, but I'm not at all mad at what the Cowboys did.
Right, so I want to start with the way that you just phrased it, which is the way that most fans look at it. And really, the way that fans look at it is, I want a guy at this position, so draft a guy at that position. The reality is, if you take a guy at that position and he's not good, you've solved nothing. You've just made it worse. You've just compounded the error. So you can't look at it that way. Even though I know how much fans want to, you got to take guys that you feel really confident are really good players, right? Now, people never like when you take an offensive lineman, but I love Tyler Booker. I did Alabama Ole Miss a couple years ago, and as a sophomore, true sophomore, in like his 4th game or whatever, he was already like the leader of that group. He was already like the leader of that offensive line. I mean, that's the type of kid he is. The Cowboys' offensive line's been very good for the most part for the last decade plus. You got to keep a strength, right? I mean, Tyron Smith's gone. He's retired. Zach's retired. Travis Frederick's been gone for a while. But they do a good job drafting at that position. Tyler Smith, We'll see with Cooper Beebe. He looked pretty good last year. They know how important it is. There's a reason why all these other teams, the Eagles are paying Landon Dickerson $21 million a year. Trey Smith for the Chiefs on the franchise tag for $24 million. So if you get a really, really good guard, like a Pro Bowl caliber guard on a rookie contract, that's valuable.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt. And look, we had T-Book, as he calls himself now, on the air a little bit before you. The guy just seems to love football. I mean, this is one of those guys where you can tell he's enthusiastic about playing the game. He's thrilled about being a Dallas Cowboy. So you really, at this point, can't ask for much more than that.
Well, number one, he's got a dynamic personality. He's just a great guy to talk to. He's a leader of men, even though he's a very young man himself. And then number two, you now have a couple bullies, okay? Tyler Smith, Tyler Booker, you've got guys that are not just going out there to play football. They're trying to beat people up. They're trying to physically dominate. And that sends a message and a tone really throughout the entire team and organization. I love the pick. I think that, at some point soon, we'll be asking the question of whether or not the Cowboys have the best guards in the NFL.
High praise coming from a guy that played the position in the NFL. Ross Tucker joining us here on the Blitz from the Ross Tucker podcast. Yeah, and again, you played offensive line. I judge offensive linemen by how often do I see them helping pick up the quarterback. But you mentioned the interior that they have there with Cooper Beebe at center. Terrence Steele's still a question at tackle if he can get back to what he was that earned the big contract, and their jury's still out after Tyler Guyton's rookie year. But overall, I look at what the Cowboys did, and it was they need a strong offensive line because, well, look what the Eagles have. Look what the Giants have. Washington, those defensive fronts. I mean, they're building from the trenches out.
Yeah, look at what most of the teams are doing, right? Like, look at what the Browns, they traded down to get a D tackle, Mason Graham from Michigan. The Vikings redid their entire interior, and they got Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave on the defensive line. Anybody that watched the Super Bowl saw what happened there, right? The Eagles' big people were better than the Chiefs' big people, and they beat them up. And so, you hear this expression all the time, and it's true. It's a copycat league, and everybody saw that the Eagles invest so many resources in the offensive line. By the way, they also have Saquon Barkley at running back and maybe the best pair of receivers in the league. Like, they have good players elsewhere too, but they invest a lot up front, both sides of the ball for sure.
No doubt. Ross, you mentioned it when we first started this interview that fans want something, and everybody wanted a wide receiver. Everybody thinks the Cowboys need that number 2 guy opposite C.D. Lamb. The Cowboys gave away a 4th-round pick for Jonathan Mingo. What are your thoughts on Mingo? Or, do you think he can be that guy?
Well, I think that they're gonna take the spring to kind of figure that out, right? Clearly Carolina did not think so. That doesn't mean he can't, and the Cowboys might trust their eval from when he was coming out of the draft. Obviously, the Panthers kind of gave up on him. But I think, remember this too, there's a lot of time before that first game. The Packers now, after the draft, they have like 7 legit receivers. They're not all going to make the roster. So if you're the Cowboys, you see what you have in Mingo in the spring. And then if it's still not going well, if he's not going to be what you were hoping he'd be, you can trade or get another number 2 or number 3 receiver. You can't get number 1 like CD, but you can get somebody else if Mingo's not really going to be what you're hoping he'll be.
Ross, as you stay on that, how much, because every mock draft had the Cowboys taking a receiver in either round 1 or round 2. I didn't see one that didn't. But when you look at, you just said trusting their evaluation. Jerry said they had a 2nd-round grade on him when he was coming out. and he was with the team last year, even though he didn't have any kind of impact. But Cooper Rush was playing, not Dak Prescott because of injury. But, they've seen him in the building. How much does that factor into, do they feel comfortable that they did not, at this point at least, have to make a move to try to find, and I know it sounds like a rich people problem, a wide receiver 2, not wide receiver 1, but a wide receiver 2?
Yeah, I mean, look, they obviously are excited about what he can do, and they want to see him. I mean, they want to see him out there and see what he can do when he's the guy getting starter caliber reps, right? Like, he's the guy getting an opportunity to go ahead and get a lot of reps. I mean, that was kind of late in the year. Was it November maybe?
Yeah.
When he got traded, something like that. Well, it can't be November. When was that? Isn't it November after the trade deadline? Must have been right at the trade deadline.
It was late.
Yeah, so he was there, but one thing to see him there. But you're right, there was no Dak, and I think to your point, Jay, like maybe they saw enough to feel really good about him. Maybe they saw enough from him that it's not as much of a need as other people think it is. Maybe they feel really good about Mingo.
By the way, November 5th was the day of the trade.
Okay, November 5th. All right.
So a handful of games with the Cowboys. In fact, 8 games, 1 start, 5 catches, 46 yards while with the Cowboys.
But again, that was Cooper Rush, right?
Yep.
It was throwing the foot. Not that he's horrible or anything. The other thing, Ross was running back, and the Cowboys did add a couple of running backs. One of them, Jaden Blue, out of the University of Texas. But my question, because I don't think Jaden Blue is going to be your number one guy. The Cowboys have added Javonte Williams, and do you think he is a number one guy? I know he had some flashes there in Denver, but is he that guy, do you think?
Probably not. Although maybe a year further removed from that devastating injury, maybe he can be better. But obviously, he was so good as a rookie. I was so excited about him. And, the Broncos kind of gave him the last couple years to show he could come back from that injury, and he just didn't. So the Cowboys are going to give him a chance too. I thought I'm curious to see what Miles Sanders can do. As a guy that did a lot of positive things with the Eagles, I'm not sure what happened in Carolina there with him. And I'm fired up about Jaden Blue for the Cowboys. That guy can fly, and he gives them an entirely different element, which I'm kind of fired up to see what he can do. And then even Maffa, who they took in the 7th round, is pretty good. So they're at least giving themselves some choices there. And I think after what happened with Rico Dowdle last year, I think they realized we got a pretty good offensive line, and we've got a young guy that can run hard. We got a chance to have some success here, even if it's not a big name. They've had the big name running backs, including Zeke Point too, that just haven't worked out.
Yeah, exactly. Ross Tucker from the Ross Tucker Podcast joining us here on The Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Overall, aside from the Shedeur Sanders story, what was your favorite part or most the part that you found of draft weekend most interesting?
Well, most interesting is the Travis Hunter trade, right? I mean, for the Jaguars and Browns to do that, the Jaguars, they must really think he was clearly the best player and that he's going to make an impact on both sides of the ball to make that trade. The Browns, I'm assuming, disagree, and/or the Browns decided it's actually more important to have assets for next year so they can try to get a quarterback. I think the Browns, they know they don't have the guy for sure. I think they took a couple of lottery tickets or chances in Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. I think both those guys will start games for them this year. And if one of them shows that they can do it, hey, that's great. If not, now the Browns have a couple of first-round picks, which might be top 10 picks next year to try to get whoever it is, Nussmeier or Klubnik or Drew Aller at Penn State, or I don't know, whoever you think, Arch Manning, I don't care. Like whoever you think the guy is that's in next year's draft, now they have a chance to get him.
Well, Ross, I'm curious. You've played in the league, and you know some of the politics of the league. What do you think is the true story behind Shadour's fall?
Yeah, I would say it's three-pronged. Prong one is that the teams that decided that they wanted to get a starting caliber quarterback, liked other guys more. The Titans liked Cam Ward more. The Giants liked Jackson Dart more. And the Saints liked Tyler Shuck more. I can live with all of those because I've had different people come on the Ross Tucker Football Podcast and tell me that, you know, Tyler Shuck was the second best quarterback in the draft based on the video. If you just looked at the video and forgot that he was 26 years old and had all the injuries or whatever. So I can live with that part of it. After that, I think what happened is it's like a Tebow or Kaepernick thing where nobody wants to have a lightning rod polarizing backup quarterback. Nobody wants the number two guy to be a guy with all this attention, all this media coverage. They do not like that. And then I think the third one is, you know, they handled things at Colorado very interestingly. And I think, you know, there was probably something to those stories about the interviews and how people felt like he was in the interviews. And word gets around, there's only so many teams that are even looking for a quarterback at all. And so if the interviews aren't going well and people don't like the way you conduct yourself, that's a tough position in particular to draft someone that you're not thrilled with how they go about their business.
You know, it's so true, and I think about just, you know, from the interviews to just drawing things up on the grease board, which every football player does, and you're judging knowledge based on what you're doing on the grease board, and Shadour's always been catered to. His dad from Little League on has always been his head coach. You could question whether he's got the skill set to be able to do that.
That's a fair point. That's a really fair point because I don't know the answer to that, right? Like none of us do. He's never, and that's probably some of the concern. You know, I think they probably feel like his dad kind of protected him. You know, I know when I did the Colorado State game last year for CBS, you know, he was not part of the production meetings. We did not get a chance to talk to Shador. That is highly unusual. I don't know if he didn't feel like doing it or if Dion didn't want him to do it. I have no idea, you know, and it's fine. He might be the greatest kid in the world. He might be terrible. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but that is unusual, right? To not meet with the starting quarterback in a production meeting. And so I think that people probably heard stories like that of them doing unusual things with him, and we're curious as to how that would be.
Boy, that's interesting stuff, and only time will tell as to what Shador is going to be in the NFL. Quick, your thoughts on Cam Ward. He started here in San Antonio at UIW, so folks here are familiar with him and rooting for him. Number one pick, that's a big spot. What do you think?
You know, I am thrilled for him. Heck, I'm thrilled for me because I end up doing so many AFC South games for CBS that I'm pumped that the Titans got Cam Ward, but I got to tell you guys, on the Ross Tucker Football Podcast a few years ago, okay, he was Emory Hunt came on my show on the Ross Tucker Podcast and was telling me about this quarterback at Incarnate Ward named Cam Ward. Guys, I don't think I'd ever heard of Incarnate Word. I hadn't heard of the school until Cam. And then I follow him to Washington State, follow him to Miami. I just love knowing how much adversity he's already overcome. That is a great, great sign for him.
Going to be a great story as well. Be a really good front page story, if you will, Ross Tucker.
Nice, Jay. Nice transition. I love it. Hey, fellas, less than 2 weeks away from Mother's Day. Moms are everybody's number one pick, okay? We know that. Nobody has a bust as a mom. If you do that, it's really, really sad. That's a whole other topic, I guess. But everybody's mom is their number one pick. You got to go to myfrontpagestory.com, whether it's for your grandma or your mom, or maybe it's for your wife, you know, the mother of your children, whatever. It's by far the best Mother's Day gift I've ever seen. You talk to a writer for 10 minutes while you're driving home from work, or you can fill out a quick email. They write this incredible story, a professional writer, about how amazing your mom or your wife is. It looks like it's on the cover of the newspaper, framed beautiful pictures of her with the kids or with you. They cry almost every time. Like, I know most guys haven't even thought about Mother's Day yet because it's not May until Thursday. I got news for you, fellas. It's less than 2 weeks away. Go to myfrontpagestory.com. I'll be shocked if your mom and or wife don't tell you it's the best Mother's Day gift they ever got. myfrontpagestory.com. myfrontpagestory.com. It's incredible.
It really is. Good stuff. Ross Tucker, the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, CBS, Westwood One, games that you hear here on 94.1. Ross, always appreciate it, my friend. We'll catch up soon.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Great talking with you guys.
Good stuff. Ross Tucker on the Buyers Barricades at Guest Line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Good stuff with Ross Tucker.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Cowboys draft. Hear from Jerry and Steven, because, again, the draft probably didn't go the way most mocks had it, but...
Anybody check on Mel Kiper lately? Is he all right?
Dude, I saw him drinking Orange Crushes.
Holy cow.
At the end of the draft. I think that guy was just ready to get out of Green Bay.
Boy, I tell you what, it was not a good draft for one Mel Kiper.
No, he's still stewing.
Yes.
Over Shador's slide. Let's talk about it all. Coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, make sure you get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. Sam has his entire spring line on display right now in that showroom, so you need your logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, any kind of shirt. Sam will get you taken care of. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries. My wife needed hospital logos on her new scrubs. Sam got that taken care of. Does fantastic work. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, and he's got all the popular cap brands, the Katie caps, Nike, Cap America, the Richardson 112 style trucker caps in stock. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, no order too small. And Sam is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
To the 10-yard line, touchdown Vegas, what a wild finish!
Your home for the NFL.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your marriage is over. You know it, your friends know it. Take back control now with Barton & Associates, an aggressive, no-nonsense team of attorneys ready to fight for what you deserve. Contact us today at TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
Missions fans, level up your Tuesdays with AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium. Presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Unlock $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Don't miss this high score deal. First pitch is 7:05 p.m. Grab your tickets now at samissions.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Bad news for the Milwaukee Bucks. Guard Damian Lillard tore his Achilles in last night's loss to the Indiana Pacers. He's going to be out a long time. The Bucks trail in that series, by the way, 3-1. Cowboys had a great draft from all the so-called experts. They were given an A grade overall for their 9 selections, highlighted by offensive guard Tyler Booker, cornerback Siobhan Ravel Jr., and Texas running back Jaden Blue.
SportsCenter brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're watching on YouTube, appreciate that. You can always subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Comment there. Hit the thumbs up button. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix.
Yeah, a lot of people commenting on a variety of things. Some about Fiesta and the prices of such.
I don't know what to say.
Well, I don't know why it surprises anybody.
Well, that I don't know what to say, or that Fiesta prices are expensive.
Both.
It feels like it's low-hanging fruit and an easy target. Fiesta years ago, yeah, everything used to be cheaper. Things are more expensive now. Events are a lot more expensive, and hell, they're all a lot more crowded now. And so everything costs. You go to any big event, it's going to be pricey. Hell, I spent $15 a beer the other night at a concert.
Right. I don't know what a beer costs at a Fiesta event.
It looks like $9 on this photo on the front page of the Express News.
Well, that's almost cheap, isn't it?
Well,
for an event like that.
Now, granted, I don't know. Is that a 16 or 24 ounce can,
I don't know.
Is that a small pour cup? I mean,
good point.
There is a difference. I mean, if I'm thinking about Nyos and I'm collecting cups, and if I'm paying $9 for that, I can understand the value is there. But it's not going to get cheaper, right?
No.
It's not going to get cheaper. It's people talk about, man, Taste of the North Side. That's too expensive. dude, Taste of the North Side, you don't reach for your wallet once you're in. Everything is included, including all of your beer. And you go to a lot of these Fiesta events, and you could spend a couple $100 a person easily on just food and drink.
Well, absolutely, and it's not just beer. You want wine? They'll have wine there. They'll have mixed drinks. They'll have all that, and good food too. So, look, it is what it is. But Taste of the North Side, what I like about it is, and I'm not sure, maybe all the Fiesta events are. I don't know the answer to it, but Taste of the North Side is for a great cause.
All Fiesta events are raising money for somebody.
Okay, so it's
it's all a big charity event.
Okay, so that's great, and I don't mind if you want to go to Fiesta if that's your thing. You don't mind paying the prices, and otherwise don't go.
Well, that's the one thing. And if you guys want to debate this, 210-656-3776, there is sticker shock, and I get that, and I have done it too. Man, that place was expensive, or that event is expensive. But also, maybe that helps you control how much you're eating or drinking. At $9 a beer, you might not have 10 of them as if, say, they were $5 a beer, right? In making the food, all food costs seem to be higher right now. But I don't get, unless you've just been under a rock, I don't care what event you're going to, whether it's a football game, a concert, a Fiesta event, and not expect to pay more at an event than you would if you were buying it and cooking it yourself from the grocery store or going to a restaurant. I mean, stuff's expensive, and event prices are always higher. I complain more about parking because one day that same lot might be $15, but because it's a big event, now it's $40.
Right, and that's the other thing, right? Parking.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pay for that too. But they got to have parking rights and stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah.
I would think.
I'm sure they do.
That's the way I would do it.
Or they got Uber.
Yeah, but that's probably expensive too if you're going to a.
I mean, yeah, you're going to pay surge pricing. You know how you cheap out on your Uber leaving a Fiesta event? I learned this last year. We just picked a spot that was fairly close, got out, called Uber, and got a normal rated Uber, and it was the same dude. But to get to my house was over $100 because of the surge pricing. So we went somewhere fairly close out of the surge range just to get out of that mess, and then caught another Uber that just happened to be the same.
Well, that's a good way to do it if you're able to walk that far.
Yeah. Well, no.
People...
We Ubered and then to another place and then caught an Uber from there. I didn't walk anywhere.
Good idea.
I was in no shape to walk.
No, that's what I would think. But
yes.
Look.
But I was in enough shape not to go, I ain't paying that to go home.
Exactly. But if you like Fiesta and you want to go downtown and be a part of all of that, then you kind of plan for that, I would think. I mean, it's going to be expensive, so just go and have a good time.
That's it.
Or don't go.
It's a part of it. Hey, Art, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm just pulling out of Fiesta de los Reyes over here at Market Square. It's lovely, nice weather. It's not too crowded yet. The great thing about Fiesta de los Reyes, there's no entrance fee. The challenge is $20 minimum to park, and then, like you said, $10 beers, and then the food is anywhere from 10 plus up. So, probably after 2 hours, that's a good lunch or a good night, but it's not crowded during the day.
That's it. That's good.
But the idea, though, is, I mean, you kind of know that going in. I'm surprised that people act, that many people act sticker shock. Now, if you're bitching just a bitch and you're piling on because somebody else did, I get that. But Fiesta's all about fun and raising money for great causes and organizations. It is a great party.
Party with a purpose.
Yeah, it's never really been cheap. And
that's
so
after dropping $260 at Costco this morning. So, what can you say, bro?
What are you gonna do, right?
Well, that's it.
That's right. You could stay at home and eat popcorn, but who wants to do that?
Well, I mean, I guess you could go to Costco and buy a chicken, and you could buy a stick and a jalapeno and kind of create your own, but it ain't the same.
Well, I like Art going out on a Monday afternoon and taking part in Fiesta. Well done, Art.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, and you sound pretty sober for leaving a Fiesta event at 4 o'clock. There could be jokes about that, or are you making your way to the next event?
Well, I'm on my way to the airport to pick up my wife because she's due in here at 5 o'clock. I had one, and it was Military Monday, so military veterans got discounts.
Nice.
So I got to fly the flag there.
All right.
Good stuff. Art,
Well done,
appreciate
Art.
you, man. Enjoy the rest of Fiesta. And again, the Blitz, we're going to be live out at Taste of the Northside on Thursday. Yes, those tickets are expensive, all benefiting the Brighton Center. But once you're in, you don't reach for your wallet. You know, there's no tickets. There's no, I got to buy this, I got to buy that. Once you are in, everything is at your disposal. I can't say free because you paid to get in, but you don't reach for your wallet a second time. You can save $50 on your Taste of the Northside tickets using Blitz50 as a promo code.
And we're going to be there. You can come hang out with us.
Yes.
Doing the show from there. The
Absolutely.
Rocket Lock and Terror on Thursday. And
Ryan Eagle said he's buying everybody's beer that night once you're inside.
Absolutely. Once you come in, whatever you want. I'll buy your dinner even.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, Generous Joe on a Thursday.
That's right.
Uh-huh. Where everything is free.
Kind of guy that I am.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
He is.
Absolutely.
Cowboys had a really good draft.
They did.
Universally getting an A grade on their draft, although their draft very different than what a lot of us wanted or a lot of us expected. Let's talk about it. Coming up here on the Blitz, here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, I'm going to tell you what, and this may sound very simple, but one of my favorite parts of getting out of bed in the morning is getting in the shower. I love taking a shower with the water that is softened by my Connecticut quality water softener. It is fantastic. I feel cleaner. My clothes feel cleaner as they're washed in the nice conditioned water from Connecticut. And, you know, the dishes are clean. Everything is better. And I know that my appliances are not being worn out or full of scale and all of that stuff from the hard water that we have here in San Antonio and South Texas. I love my Connecticut quality water softener. And if you don't have one, you should have one. Treat yourself and your family to a Connecticut quality water softener. You owe it to them. All their products are made here in America, and they've been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. And what I love about it is you don't plug it in. You don't. It runs on that kinetic energy, and it provides soft water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't have to worry if you've got a thunderstorm and your electricity goes out. You're still going to have soft water. It's perfect. It is outstanding. And right now, for a limited time, you're going to get a free reverse osmosis drinking station that the fine folks at Connecticut will install right there at your kitchen sink. It's like having bottled water right there at your kitchen sink. They're going to give you $400 for your old water softener and free money. 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. You don't want to wait. Can't last that long. You want to call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
Join us for San Antonio's premier Fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by H-E-B, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta!
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away, so the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Munnix. You're on at YouTube watching. Appreciate that. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. You can comment in there and see all kinds of things in here. Alexandra wants one of our 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Fiesta medals.
She does.
And I was all ready to be generous and say, come on by. And then I see a comment from Alexandra that says, I like to hear AJ sing while at the Bexar County Jail Court in the morning.
Yeah, can you imagine?
You know,
I don't, she must be a charitable person.
We met her, dude. That's obvious. It takes a lot for me to text a coworker in the middle of their show. And I did that to A.J. Hoffman this morning.
You did?
They were talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. And A.J. was singing some Soundgarden.
Oh,
and that was by far the worst impression of Chris Cornell that I've ever heard. Now, Chris Cornell is one of my favorites. But that was so damn disrespectful, I had to text him. Like, dude, stop. That was awful.
Dude, I had to listen to that for 4 hours the other day when I filled in for Rob last week. And what amazed me is AJ must not do anything when he leaves here but listen to music. Because he knew the words to every damn song there is.
Well, a lot of people do, Joe.
Well, I'm just saying.
Just because you don't doesn't mean a lot. But most people.
Please. I mean, there were like hundreds of songs.
Yes.
You know the words to those too?
I could probably do it to most. So could Pledger. Wow. So could, I'm going to guess, Alexandra, Gilbert, and Vince, the first three comments I see there. But most do it poorly, like AJ.
Well, it's very poor.
And it was extremely poor this morning.
Dude, I don't know how Rob does it, honestly. I don't know how Rob does it.
Well, he doesn't listen.
Well, I hope not. Or he takes his headphones off when AJ starts to sing, because it's bad. It's bad.
Claymore with a great idea. I think Alexandra should sing for a 94-1 medal.
Well, I don't know. Does she sound like AJ?
I mean, if you're willing to sing on the radio, Alexandra, you know the number, 656-3776. Now, it's 4:19. You got to get here before I leave at 6. So if you can make your way over here, we might make it worth your while. Might. But I got questions. His share is the best.
Share?
That doesn't surprise me.
You know, just the fact that he listens to Cher might tell you something about AJ.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. There are people out there that fancy themselves as great singers. Love to do karaoke.
Yeah.
The worst $100 I've ever spent in my life. And I've wasted $100 on a lot of dumb stuff in my life. But one night we were out with old Mike Jimenez and went to a karaoke bar. And the line was long. And I tipped the dude $100 to put Jimenez at the front of the line. That was the worst karaoke I've ever seen in my life for a guy that claims to be a great karaoke guy. And even admit he was bad. But it was bad. Like you got booed off the stage bad.
I don't know. I've heard some really bad karaoke singers.
Nothing like that. I mean, Pledge was there. There's nothing like that night. And I paid for that.
Yeah, I can't believe you did that.
Then all the excuses of I wasn't quite ready and I thought I had more time and the pressure.
Yeah. We haven't found anything that Jimenez does well, did we? I'm still looking. Love you, Mikey. I've known Mike for a long time.
Yeah. Good friend.
Yeah.
Bad singer.
Yeah, well, I guess that goes to for everybody at this radio station.
Yeah. I like to listen to good music. I don't like to listen to bad music.
From people that actually know how to sing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Karaoke is not one of my favorite things. The comments about AJ and singing in our YouTube chat are, I mean, I'll give him credit. He's got the stones to do it.
Well, one guy is he must be stoned when he listens to him, and he laughs in our YouTube page. So I guess that's one way to take him. Just get baked, and then everybody sounds good.
What Noe says.
Yeah.
Smoking my toke. Okay. 6 to 10 a.m. Hot sports takes and bad singing. It's the morning huddle. Could be their new tagline. The good news is Rob doesn't feel the need to chime in and offer a backup singer.
Well, that's a good. Rob knows Rob can't sing.
Yes. Cowboys are really good at drafting. And I know Jerry said that the other day, and a lot of people wanted to give him business about that. But the reality is Cowboys have drafted extremely well.
They have.
We know that hasn't turned into playoff wins or Super Bowls. But they have, in Will McClay, the de facto general manager, and his scouting staff, they have drafted well. When you look at Pro Bowlers and all-pro players, they have a great eye for selecting talent, especially at the offensive line. Now, they got to put together a solid team because great talent, bunch of great players doesn't necessarily make a great team. But they had a great draft. By far, not at all what I wanted. As a lifelong Cowboy fan, I wanted a wide receiver, I wanted a running back, and I wanted a corner with their first 3 picks.
That didn't happen.
I didn't even get 1 of 3.
Well, you got a corner.
All right, fair. Who may or may not be healthy. Although Dr. Cooper did his surgery, so they have some extra intel there. Did get a running back. Got it later than I wanted. Jaden Blue, not mad at that. Maffa, different style of running back, 7th-round guy. We'll see. But overall, when you look at what the Cowboys did, the edge rusher from Boston College, I'll eventually learn his name. Azaraku, I believe is how you say it.
All right.
Yes, I've been practicing.
Azaraku.
Yes.
We have to learn. We may interview this dude at training camp.
It's possible, or sooner. I mean, I believe we'll. We talked to Tyler Booker earlier today. The next request I asked for Jaden Blue, just because the Texas connections and a handful of people on YouTube were asking if we were going to get Jaden Blue on, and I'm told later in the week. But when you look at what they did, now granted, they didn't take a wide receiver. That doesn't mean that they are done shopping for a wide receiver. It could also mean that they're a hell of a lot more comfortable with Jonathan Mingo and some of those other guys than we are, based on what they have seen at practices and through Mingo being in the building at the end of last year and so far through what they've seen of him in the offseason.
Well, I think Ross Tucker said this when we had him on the Blitz earlier today, that the Cowboys in no hurry. You see what you've got in spring. And if you don't think Mingo's that guy, or you think he needs some help, or you need to add a veteran, then you go get a veteran. Amari Cooper's name has been brought up, and I'm not sure that that's a wise thing. It sounds like a Zeke Elliott comeback. I don't know what he's got left, quite frankly.
I didn't see Amari making enough impact plays in Buffalo to think that he could come back and be that guy in Dallas. Plus, I mean, Jerry's a forgiving guy, but when you get crossed with Jerry Jones, it's hard to come back from that. So with a guy at the end, I'd be shocked if Jerry went that route. And Jerry did say they're not done looking for a wide receiver.
Definitely was a big time thought that the train has not left the station if improvement is needed from what we've got on campus. And so I'm looking at the same sheet maybe you got in front of you that I have in front of me, and it shows our number 4 pick here, and no, it says our number 114 pick, trade to Carolina for Jonathan Mingo. Well, we've obviously known there, and so my point is that Steven says it best. It's a 24 year-round deal, but we don't have to be through at receiver in any way. And as a matter of fact, as we got on into the draft, the likelihood of creating competition, if we did go out and did something that's important to us in free agency, started making the depth we've got on the roster right now with our possible 2s and 3s that might be competitive there if we brought someone that was obvious to everybody, he's your second man. So I'm just giving you the benefit of the mentality there, but definitely the idea that we could, if the opportunity comes up, we want to, we can address this in free agency.
Yeah, and they can. And so I think it makes sense to see what you've got. Let, Mingo, they know him. They've seen him play, but give him a little more time in the system and see what happens. I don't know, when Carolina gives up on you, it doesn't give me a lot of hope, but who knows? That's the only disappointment I see, and I talk about it. I've got a video on Instagram today talking about the Cowboys draft, and on paper, this looks like a great draft, and you could say that about any team. You can go down the line, and any team. Well, on paper, it looks pretty good, or on paper, it looks pretty bad, and I know you guys love me saying this. We just don't know until this happens and until we get into the season.
Again, they have an eye for talent, but I really appreciated what Brian Schottenheimer said in the post-draft press conference, that it's more than that. It's trying to find the right guys to build a great team.
We're building a team. We're truly building a team. We're not just collecting talent.
And over the years, they've done a really good job of collecting talent. I don't know how well they have done putting together a great team. They're starting in the trenches, and that is clear by their draft, getting an edge in the second round. I don't know that anybody had that as a high need, especially at that point, but when you get a player of that caliber, and then you look, you got some guys coming off injury, some guys going in the final year of their contracts, that's big. It could also be if they're preparing for, a holdout of one Micah Parsons, if he takes this into missing regular season games, which I think we all doubt, but they look prepared for it. As far as receivers go, they've got a ton of them. Between, right now, your 3 starters are going to be CeeDee Lamb, Jonathan Mingo, and Jalen Tolbert. You got Turpin, who's going to see time at wide receiver. Flournoy, that you want to see if he can develop. Brooks, that you want to see what they could do. They added Ferris Campbell, another big kind of target. They've got some other guys that will help get through OTAs and mini camps and training camp. But there's a lot of guys there, and I think once they got deeper in the draft, they do view Mingo. That was their 4th-round pick. They had a 2nd-round grade on him a couple years ago, and they've been around him. So there was an urgency to replace him based on the information they have. But, man, I know every fan wanted to get a receiver.
Well, of course they did, because none of the fans have any faith in the guys you just reeled off. Nobody does. I mean, how can you? These guys have to develop, right? We've been waiting for Jalen Tolbert to develop for a long time. Had a decent year last year. It wasn't bad. But can he take that next step and become that number 2 wide receiver? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, it's going into his 4th year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he doesn't have much time left, because if he doesn't work out this year, he's gone.
Well, that's it. And for a 3rd-round pick from a couple years ago, you need impact. And when you look at, their 1st round, I mean, Tyler Booker is going to be a day 1 starter. We'll see about the edge rusher, because that's crowded. The corner from East Carolina coming off a knee injury. We'll see if he's ready to go early. And then you got to deal with Diggs. But overall, you look at what they did, especially late in the draft where they got a Jaden Blue. Man, I wanted Cam Scadaboo so mad that he went to the New York Giants. but at least it wasn't like last year where they're coming up and you go, okay, I want this running back, that running back, and that running back, right? I didn't have that in the 3rd round when I thought they could take a running back. They didn't pick in the 4th round, and by the time they got to Jaden Blue, I was like, all right, man, that's pretty solid right there in the 5th round.
No, I think I think the Jaden Blue pick is really good. He's a change of pace guy. He's not a number 1 running back. I don't see him as that. Maybe he develops into that, but I don't see him as that. But he is a change of pace guy, and I like that. Look, I'm looking at the Cowboys depth chart right now, and Javonte Williams is listed as the number 1 running back. You've got Blue 2nd, and then Miles Sanders 3rd. Then the other guy, Maffa, is your 4th guy. And then you get way out to the end there, you got Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis. So
he is gadget juice.
So I don't think either one of those guys probably will be around, and unless Vaughn hangs around special teams somehow, some way. But I find this interesting, and I don't know who do the coaches put together this depth chart. It's obviously too early, but I think it tells you a lot. You're right. Tyler Booker is plugged in as a starting right guard. And then you go down the list here, offensively, defensively, you've got Dante Fowler, who we forget about, right?
No.
So he's over there. So you and
Ezeraku.
Yeah, Ezeraku is his backup.
Yeah.
So, but what does that say about a Sam Williams, who they have listed as 3rd right now? That injury, is he going to be able to come back from that?
Well, that's the $1 million question for. Sam will come back, but when? And you draft a guy in the 2nd round, you expect him to move up that depth chart pretty quick. But it is interesting when you think about what we as fans think a team should do versus what a general manager thinks a team should do. Incredible exchange between a couple of radio dudes in Buffalo and the Bills general manager. We'll get into that coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Do have 2 NBA playoff games tonight. You want to make those games more exciting. Make sure you're playing the Pick'em game at Underdog and take advantage of their extender promo where you can play to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a series, use your Game 1 boost. It continues to grow every game, unlocking the next one. The longer the series, the bigger the boost. Underdog is one of the leading places to make your sports pick, one of the top apps with over 100,000 5-star reviews, and it's so much fun to play where you're just picking higher or lower on predicted stats. You can play for as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money. So download the Underdog app. Sign up with promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Huddle, we roll through Fiesta. Hopefully, Rob and I show up at least somewhat sober.
We're getting to the closeout season, all first-round playoffs. We'll catch you up on everything. Shake the Coscaroni dust out of your ears. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
It's Macy's Friends and Family Sale. Hurry in for insider deals on must-have spring styles from your favorite brands, like an extra 30% off new dresses, handbags, and accessories from Karl Lagerfeld Paris, Donna Karan New York, Avec La Fille, and more. Plus, get 15% off fragrances, beauty, and skincare too. It's not only the best time to shop for yourself, it's also the best time to shop early for Mother's Day. Don't miss Friends and Family, going on now at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
You want to win a pair of tickets to see Eclipse, a tribute to Journey?
They'll sing it right.
Yeah, with special guest Fire and Ice, a tribute to Pat Benatar and Rock of Ages.
Nice.
Aztec Theater, Saturday, May 10th. You want those tickets? Be caller number 12 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you don't win them, you can always buy them at livenation.com.
That'd be a great Mother's Day gift. Because Mother's Day is the next day, in case you forgot.
When's Mother's Day?
May 11th.
Did you just look that up?
No, I knew that.
You knew that?
I knew that. How about that? You didn't know that?
No.
Well, now you do. You have no excuse. Although I always tell everybody, it's like, Maggie's not my mother.
You can't.
Right? I mean,
you're right. Maggie is not your mother.
No.
But she takes care of you.
She does.
Like you're a child.
Well.
And you are.
There's that. But I'm just saying, right? So isn't that incumbent on the children to take care of their mother?
No, Joe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it really isn't. Like that commercial, dudes on number 2 or 3 or whatever it is. This could explain why you have such a roster.
No.
You've got to remind your kids, but then also take care of her as well.
It's a much longer story than that, my friend.
I know.
We need more than 4 hours.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. You remind your kids, but also, yeah, dude, you have to do something nice for her too.
You know that
even though she's not your mother.
That front page thing sounds pretty good.
My front page story?
Those
really are cool.
Yeah.
They really are cool.
Because what the hell do you get your wife for Mother's Day?
A card.
No, please.
All right.
And you don't do flowers either. Flowers are that's a cheap way out.
Look, today's my wife's birthday.
What'd you get her?
A gift certificate to a thing that she wants done. Going and getting pampered.
Oh, nice.
But yeah.
All right.
I didn't get a card. In fact, because she said today she had to go to work early. And I'm like, well, I ain't waking up early to give it to you, so I'll just give it to you now. She's like, oh, it's not my birthday. You can't do it. Here you go. And I said, do you have a card in the drawer, or do I need one? Because I don't. Dude, Joanna's got a whole dresser drawer in the guest bedroom full of cards for every occasion.
Well, that's cool.
I don't need to go to the store. I just got to rummage through her card drawer to find one that I might need.
You know, is that a woman thing? Because I mean this. So if we're going like to, we need to stop and get this for them, a house. I don't know, whatever it is. Maggie walks into the back room and there's in the closet. Oh, I have this.
They're prepared.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow.
I don't know if I would classify it as a woman thing. But it is.
Do you know any guys that have a closet full of cards or just random gifts?
No, I don't. I don't. But they are prepared.
I'm like, I got to stop at CVS real quick, see if they got something.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I've said to her many times, if there was, if you just went and bought your own.
You all right?
You know when you're not supposed to say something?
Yeah. Your body's trying to protect you.
At least one of us is surprised.
Yes. Well, I don't do that. I mean, I actually get her something. I know what it is, but I am surprised when she gets like the kids or grandkids something, because I'm like, oh, that's nice. I don't know what it is. I have no clue. But when I get her something, I know what the hell it is. Are you sure? Because I actually go out and get it. I don't rely on my wife to buy her own gift.
Yeah, but at least you would be surprised. Now on this, I knew what she wanted, and I went and bought it.
Well, there you go. That's got to be the first time in a long time you've done that.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, it never ceases to amaze me.
What?
What's so funny? I don't know.
Because Pledge put up their vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yeah, vacuum cleaner. And you got her washing machine.
Well, if she asks for it specifically, I'll get her what she asked for.
That's not what they want, though.
If that's what she asked for.
You're supposed to you give them something. Now, you can just buy the other thing because you need it for the family.
I would normally do that. But you've met my wife from like September on. Everything, oh, that's a Christmas present. The hell it is. It's Tuesday. But she will wait. She wanted a vacuum cleaner. That's what I got her, and I got in trouble for it.
Well, of course you did.
Not from her, from everybody else.
Well, yes. A vacuum cleaner. Now go to work, honey, and then make me a chicken pot pie.
I don't like chicken pot pie.
Man, that's what it sounds like. All right, let's see how that thing works. Made a hell of a mess in the bedroom. Go take care of that, baby. I'm going to sit out here and smoke and drink.
Where does that come from?
Dude,
seriously.
That's my imitation of you.
What, me?
Yes.
If that's what she asked for, that's what she'll get.
Oh, my gosh. Joanna, do not ask for an appliance.
Oh, she hasn't since.
Well, of course not.
But she's overly happy with it.
Oh, I'm sure she's thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she thinks of you fondly every time she vacuums the floor. Oh, Jason, this is so nice. It almost cleans itself. Oh, that Jason, he's such a romantic.
Yeah, that she doesn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have one that cleans itself, right?
The Roomba?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a Roomba, too. It was a gift. She wanted it.
Oh, my gosh. How the hell you been married for 30 years, dude?
It beats the hell out of me.
I don't know. I'm no one to talk about people's marriages, but I'm just saying. It doesn't sound like a good thing to do.
You know, so you can take it two ways. You're right. She did get other things that she didn't ask for that she liked. But if it's on her list and that's what she really wants, then is specific, you buy what's on the list. Right?
No. Even I, as a professional married guy, even I know the vacuum cleaner's on the list. You don't buy a vacuum cleaner.
Well, she won't put it on the list again. I can promise you that.
I would think not. How old is that vacuum cleaner? It ought to be wearing out by now, shouldn't it?
I have no idea.
It's time for an upgrade.
You should tell her.
Dude, I will tell her. I'll be happy to.
It's her birthday tonight. Stop at Target and get a vacuum cleaner on your way over to dinner.
Sure, yeah, well.
Sure.
Well, I'd kind of like to remain friends with your wife.
Moral of the story here. Pledge doesn't forget a damn thing.
No, he doesn't. He brought that. I had forgotten about that.
Me too.
And then when he said that, I remembered the washing machine.
Yeah. But that was 30 years ago.
There have been new ones since, I hope.
Oh, yeah, but it's back then. It was, she wanted this washing machine that had all these buttons on it. We couldn't afford it. We were at Sears at Rolling Oaks Mall back in the day. 96-ish.
Uh-huh.
I was going to buy a washing machine, and dryer was like $200. And she wanted this one, had all these fancy buttons that were, it was damn near $500. We couldn't afford it. I had to get a Sears credit card for it. But she said, if we get this one, you will never do laundry again. And I never have.
Wow. You've held her to it, huh?
Absolutely.
So did you, you're like, hey, Jason, you mind throwing that in the wash?
Nope.
Can't do it, honey. 30 years ago,
you
made a promise.
You said. Yeah, dude. And what we have now, I wouldn't know where to begin. How to use that washing machine.
Honey, is supper ready? I got bowling tonight.
Bowling?
I hope you wash my bowling shirt.
Bowling shirt?
Gonna go have some beers with the boys.
Uh-huh.
Jason would ask me to do a load before he'd do it himself.
Oh, my goodness.
That's not true. but I probably would send it to some place to get done, like the cleaners that do your regular laundry. I would do that before I asked you to wash clothes pledge. Just saying.
You'd pay for it. Take it to a laundromat?
Yeah.
Have them do
not,
it?
Not a laundromat, because I'm not going to sit there with a roll of quarters.
No, but they'll do it for you for the right price. You drop it off. There's people there that will wash your clothes.
Dude, I have never washed my clothes.
Wow.
I don't know how. I know it's pathetic to
Dude,
say,
that's
but
sad right there. Yeah, I don't know how. It's one button.
But it's true. It's true. My mom always did laundry when I was in the military. There was a laundry service, and then I had girlfriends until I met my wife. I don't know that I've ever actually washed my own clothes.
Wow.
I'm 52 damn years old. I don't know how to use a laundry machine.
Dude, I had to learn when I pledged to fraternity.
Well, there you go.
Southwest Texas State. That was one of the a-holes. As I was one of the guys, I had to wash his damn clothes, and he had a whole damn pile of them.
Uh-huh.
And he was a nasty dude, too.
Well, of course. Frat boy.
Had to go down and wash his clothes. I'm like, what the hell? I know what I was getting myself into.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget that dude's name was Billy Spruce.
Oh, yeah?
Nice guy now. I've talked to him since, but
you still do his laundry?
No, don't.
Just for old time's sakes?
Not at all. No, not at all. God,
when was the last time you actually did laundry?
I do it all the time.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I did a couple loads this morning. See, if I need something or I want something, I'm an independent guy, and I can do it myself.
No, you were forced to learn.
I was forced to learn.
In between. And,
exactly.
And then you remarry quickly, so you don't have to.
Well, no, I still do it. I don't mind.
Uh-huh.
It's not a problem.
Uh-huh.
That way I know what's clean, what's not. I don't have to wait and say, Maggie, I need them shorts, baby. You mind doing a load? Holy cow.
You would never say that to Maggie.
No, I wouldn't.
Never.
I'd get smacked.
There's a way to say it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to need this shirt on Thursday. Okay. And it'll be ready.
You walk around your house scaring a club, too? Dressed like Fred Flintstone?
What the hell's wrong with you? Now neighbor Hal is texting, you throw whites in with whites and darks with darks.
Exactly.
I'm sure I could figure it out, but
I'm not sure you could.
I'm sure I could figure it out.
I don't know.
Could YouTube it.
I've known you a long time. I'm not sure.
Just go by new.
There'd be suds all over the damn house.
Well, dude, who was it? Two Jimenez references in one show.
Holy cow.
Jimenez flooded our Airbnb at the Super Bowl in Los Angeles when he put the wrong soap in the dishwasher.
You guys learn how to wash clothes, Minix. That'd be a hell of a nice surprise. Mother's Day, honey, you know what I did today? I learned how to wash, and I'm going to wash a load of clothes just for you on this Mother's, so you don't have to do it. Yeah, I think that'd be a hell of a gift.
Yeah, that will never happen.
Yeah, your wife might faint if you said that to her.
That would never happen.
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
That would never happen.
I'm going to suggest that when I see Joanna.
Please don't. I mean, she understands disappointment. It's been 30 years, so
I'm sure she does.
That's a great idea that ain't gonna happen.
I'm sure she does.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Oh my goodness.
Nope. Do laundry. Come on.
Holy cow.
I finally learned how to grill. The best thing that ever happened to her.
Yeah, right. I'm a manly man. I grill and I don't do laundry.
I have a Traeger, sir.
Jason Minix. I know it.
Let's be honest. I have a Traeger.
Yeah, you got like 4 or 5 different barbecue pits.
I do. 5.
Yes.
And yet one washing machine that I don't know where is.
You can operate all those barbecue pits just fine. When it comes to a washing machine, forget that. Don't know how. Sorry, honey.
No idea. I barely know where the room is where they keep that thing.
Jeez. Dude. Oh.
And I have no idea what's in there.
Your wife is a saint,
I don't go in there.
I'm telling you.
She is.
A saint.
I'll keep her. Happy birthday, Joanna.
Yes.
Hope you're not listening right now. Stock draft coming up.
Yeah, sure. You want to do laundry tips? Come on.
Laundry tips? Find you a great wife like I did.
Yes, yes, yes.
And if she makes a promise, hold her to it.
Oh, my gosh. Now, have you kept every promise you've ever made in 30 years?
Oh, God, no.
Hell no, you haven't. That's what, see, I'd go to that if I'm Joanna. Well, you know, back in 1992, were y'all married then?
No.
Oh, okay. 2002.
I probably have kept all the promises.
No, you probably haven't.
I'm pretty sure that I
got
have.
a lot to. I had a nice conversation with your wife. I got a lot of ammunition now.
You've known me for longer than
you've been married.
Yeah, I mean, you remember. Well, I don't know if you remember, but you know when she was still in the one night stand stage, you met her then.
I did.
Yeah.
Should have warned her then.
You should have. Happens.
Yeah, I guess.
A one night stand that hasn't gone home. 30 years. How the good old days.
Didn't want to do that walk of shame, so you just stay there.
It's Stock Draft coming up here on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
First, have you noticed? I mean, it looks like it's going to rain every single day, doesn't it? It really does. It's been crazy. Where it looks like there's a chance of a thunderstorm every single day. Well, that's what happens around here in San Antonio and South Texas, and that's why you need to remember Stevens Roofing and Solar. Always remember them because you never know when that next storm could do some damage to your roof. So you need to keep this number handy, 210-785-0994. And look, when you're going through something like that and it's something major like damage to your roof, you want to know that somebody is doing the work that you can trust, somebody that's not going anywhere. Because Stevens Roofing is a family-owned company, locally based. They've been in business for a long, long time, and they're not going anywhere. So you know if you have an issue, you have a question, all you have to do is call them, and they're going to be happy to answer it for you. And, in fact, right now, when you call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994, ask them for a free, no-obligation roof inspection. So they'll come out, they'll check your roof, and whether you need a new roof, a minor repair, or just that confirmation that your roof is in great shape, it's going to give you that peace of mind that you need when those storms do come rolling in, because you know they're coming. It happens every spring here in San Antonio. Keep Stevens Roofing and Solar's name and number handy. That number, again, is 210-785-0994.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District understands that keeping your child safe is your top priority. Vaccines are safe and can help your child's immune system fight harmful germs. They protect against serious diseases and can even save lives. Because when it comes to your child's health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. Learn more at sa.gov/health. sa.gov/health.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Exclusive sponsor of Fiesta San Antonio, Gomez Law Firm encourages you to enjoy Fiesta responsibly. For more than 50 years, attorney Joe A. Gomez has been helping victims seriously injured in car and trucking accidents. If you've been injured in a car or trucking accident, hire personal injury attorney Joe Gomez. Born and raised right here in San Antonio. Visit joegomezlaw.com or call 210-736-4040 for a free consultation. Gomez Law fights. Gomez Law cares. Viva Fiesta.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, it is the news of the day, but it is very bad news for the Milwaukee Bucks and Dame Lillard. He tore his Achilles in last night's loss to the Indiana Pacers, and the Bucks are in trouble. They trail in that best-of-7 series 3-1. We have NBA action tonight. The Cavs going for the sweep against the Heat. They'll tip at 6:30. Cleveland leads 3-0. Then at 9, the Warriors take on the Rockets in San Francisco. Golden State leading 2-1.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Monday afternoon.
And how nice is it? It's 5 o'clock. If you're getting off work right now, congrats. You made it. Mondays, for the most part, is over. The hard part of Monday. And if you're not off work like us, then, well, it'll be here soon enough.
What do you say?
Well, it'll be here soon enough. Right? I mean, everybody gets off work at some point in time.
At some
and
point.
If you just got to work, I'm sorry. You're screwed.
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, man, that made sense in your head, right?
What's that?
That made sense in your head.
5 o'clock? It's quitting time, typically. For a lot of people, it is. Is it still 8 to 5 kind of typical work hours?
What do you know about a typical job or a typical work schedule?
I was always jealous of those people. They, you know, hey, you want to come to happy hour?
Yeah.
No. Can't do it.
You used to go to work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, a little
now you come
earlier
to
than
work
that.
at noon.
It was about, you usually get there around
2:58?
2.
58?
I'd get there about 2 o'clock.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Perfect.
Uh-huh.
Perfect.
Exactly.
Dude, who knew this?
What?
Now, there's an article on Kins 5 on their website. Steph Curry passes Tony Parker on NBA's all-time playoff scoring list. Does that not surprise you?
Not really.
I would have thought Steph Curry was, I don't know.
Already there?
Yeah.
I think it just underscores how many playoff games the Spurs played with Tony Parker and how dominant he was.
Most underrated point guard in NBA history.
The surprise is it's 2025.
Yes. When did Tony retire? I don't remember, but it's been several years.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, he's retired. His number is retired. A lot going on there.
Well, I as a player and as a person, I always liked Tony Parker. I just thought he was, at that time, nobody ever talked about Tony Parker. It was all Chris Paul or Jason Kidd or, some of the other popular point guards. Nobody ever talked about Tony. And Tony, man, he was just a tough little dude.
Well, he was, but even think about here in San Antonio. Tony Parker was the least popular of the big three.
Yes.
Right?
He was.
If any of the big three were to ever get traded, it would have been Tony Parker, right? It is amazing. You talk about underappreciating somebody's career, but he was part of a dynasty.
Yeah.
He's the one that always kind of felt like he wished he was in a different market, and he's the one that said if they were doing what they did in New York or in L.A., they would be these mega superstars.
Yeah, that's true.
But even here in San Antonio, now granted, there would always be a long old line for any kind of Tony Parker public appearance, but if it were Tim, Manu, and Tony would have had the shortest line, right?
Sure.
So even in San Antonio, and I don't think even Spurs fans gave Tony Parker the credit he deserved. Even when he won Finals MVP, people thought, why? Although you go back and you watch, there was a point where Tony Parker was the best player on that team.
I tell you, there's no question about that. And that year probably was one of those years. But he was the quarterback, and he did it all. And so I enjoyed watching Tony play, and fortunate enough to get to watch him up close. And it was great. All of those guys. And he's the only one that left, right, and went and tried to continue his career.
Yeah, they had that 1 year, not very memorable.
But that's all we talk about, right? It's like you got to see if you got 1 year left, and Tony found out he didn't. And too many other irons in the fire. But, boy, I tell you what, I miss the big three.
I miss playoff
those days.
Miss playoff days. We'll talk about tonight's games coming up, but you think about the draft, and I know I've said it a couple of times today, Cowboys had a great draft, but not the draft I wanted them to have, what I thought they needed, what a lot of mock drafts thought they needed. Interesting exchange between a Buffalo radio station, a Buffalo radio show, and the Bills general manager, which honestly I think I appreciate being this forthcoming because you generally don't see it, but it does give perspective from that side of the building.
I was just listening to the last few minutes of your show before I came on, waiting on here.
All right.
Sounds like 2018 all over with you guys.
How so?
Well, you guys were bitching in 2018 about Josh Allen. You guys wanted Josh Rosen, and now you guys are bitching that we don't have a receiver. I don't get it. Like, we just scored. Hold on, let me talk. We just scored 30 points in a row for 8 straight games. A year ago, I get you guys asking why we didn't have receivers, but I don't understand it now. You just saw us lead the league in points when you add all the postseason. No one scored more points than the Buffalo Bills, including the Super Bowl champions. So you just saw us do it without Stephon Diggs, same group. how is this group not better than last year's group? Our job is to score points and win games. Where do we need to get better? Defense. We did that. So I get it. You got to have a show, and you got to have something to bitch about. But bitching about wide receiver is one of the dumbest arguments I've heard.
Okay. I mean, I wish you'd listened to the 2 hours and 25 minutes before that, because there's plenty of things we do like about your draft, and I find it curious the energy you're coming at us with. But I mean, that's your choice.
I get it. I'm just like, let's be realistic. Our job is not to have. It's not fantasy football, like to trot out the best receivers. You got Josh Allen. First thing you got to do is protect him. You can't have everything. You can't have Pro Bowl wide receivers and have a Pro Bowl offensive line and an All-Pro quarterback and 3 great running backs. Like you gotta pick. Sure, I'd love to play fantasy football, but there's one football, Jeremy. There's one ball. You can't give it to but so many people. So that's where I'm like, I don't understand this narrative. I felt it a little bit from a couple of the reporters and the thing. Like, our job is to score points. It doesn't matter what receivers, what quarterback, what. If you score points at the level we scored, that is winning football.
It is until you get in the playoffs, and it's not.
And again, WGR 550 AM there in Buffalo. And I kind of want to go back. Jeremy and Joe were bitching that they wanted Rosen and not Allen.
Yeah, if I'm the GM of the Buffalo Bills, I'm keeping that one forever.
Well, although they're not wrong, I think a lot of people questioned
probably
the Josh Allen pick when it was made.
Well, Texan fans wanted Bryce Young.
Well, and again, it's interesting to go back and look. The right player in the right system, what ultimately could happen. What would have happened if Rosen went to Buffalo?
Oh, my gosh.
Right? I mean, you don't know. Maybe Rosen's still in the league doing a lot of great things, right? If Josh Allen had ended up in Arizona, what would have happened? That is such an interesting part, but I loved what Brandon Beane said. You can't have it all. Where are the priorities? And I look at what the Cowboys did. They went in the trenches, both sides of the ball. They're going to put resources there and do what they can with receivers, because you can't have the best at every position everywhere and ultimately the most expensive. I thought it was fascinating that Brandon Beane actually took that public, because I think all football fans can learn something from that 2-minute clip.
Well, sure, I think so. But look, fans are fans, and you think you know, especially, and I love the way he kept bringing up fantasy football, because we all think we know, and we're better GMs than the real GMs out there.
Well, we are.
Well, look, but if you look at what Buffalo did, and obviously that was the conversation leading up to the draft by those guys, that, hey, we've got to draft a wide receiver.
Yep.
The Bills need a wide receiver, and they do, but they also needed some help on defense, and they got a lot of that help. They drafted a lot of defensive players. So, but I get where GMs could be a little bit butthurt. Right? I mean, you listen to sports talk radio show. Of course, none of those guys listen.
Yeah, they always do.
But they always seem to, get a little bit hurt. I don't know. I thought it was a great exchange. And look, I would appreciate somebody come, hey, we did this and that. I don't mind the debate. And I think it's fine. And I thought that was a good moment for those guys. And I thought it was a good moment for the GM.
And the reality, a lot of people, like every mock draft, had the Cowboys taken a wide receiver in the first couple of rounds.
They would have.
Had
he been available.
And if McMillan was there, they probably would have. But he wasn't, and so they didn't just go with the next wide receiver on the board.
Right.
And however you do your fantasy draft lineup when you're drafting, and some of that might depend on where you are. I know most people now, wide receivers are first-round people, not quarterbacks, so you can find a good quarterback later. But your their mentality can't be that. I love that. This ain't fantasy. But the narrative going in, Bills' biggest need, a wide receiver 1. And Brandon Beane doesn't feel like that's the case. Cowboys, they used a 4th-round pick last year, or this year's 4th-round pick in November to trade for Jonathan Mingo. They must like him a lot more than we like him. They have more info. To me, I thought it was a fascinating exchange.
I did too. I appreciate that he would come on, and obviously those guys weren't expecting that. But I think it's great. If somebody's got a problem with something they said or we said. I mean, I would much rather them address it than, all those clowns, or whatever the case may be. Because, look, in Buffalo, they're on every word those guys say about the Buffalo Bills.
Yep.
Fans are.
Yep.
So that's what they're listening to, and that GM knows it.
Well, and again, apparently some other reporters must have thought the same thing with the post-draft press conferences, asking about where's your receivers.
Right.
So he's been getting it from a lot of angles. You never know. Now, I thought we'd be talking to a receiver. Instead, Tyler Booker, the Cowboys' first-round pick at number 12, a guard from Alabama. We had him on earlier in the show at 2:35. We're going to hear from Tyler Booker coming up here on the Blitz. But before we go, it is a Mellow Monday.
Nice.
Yeah, we've got a $50 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. We'll give away right now to the first person that can call in and tell James Pledger what Tyler's turtle is named. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
If you've been waiting and waiting to get your eyes taken care of, tired of wearing those glasses, tired of wearing those contacts, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to get it done. At Manrique Custom Vision Center, Dr. Manrique prides himself in getting you out of those glasses or contacts with his blade and pain-free LASIK, which is totally safe and comfortable. It will give you the best possible vision, and you can throw out the glasses and contacts. They've got over 25 years of experience, and they've done over 72,000 laser vision corrections. They offer financing to all with up to 36 months interest-free. Give them a call today to set it up. 210-354-2020. Come and see the Manrique difference for yourself. Every patient benefits from a customized vision plan that they bring to life with state-of-the-art technology, a variety of options to help make your treatment an investment you can afford and the right people. Change your vision, change your life today. It's Manrique, 210-354-2020.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Your marriage is over. You know it, your friends know it. Take back control now with Barton & Associates, an aggressive, no-nonsense team of attorneys ready to fight for what you deserve. Contact us today at TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Made in America, highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
ConnecticutSA.com. What's up, baseball fans? It's time to swing big on your bets this season. Step up to the plate with an odds boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. No opt-in is required. Just log into your BetMGM account to receive your odds boost token. Then, place a bet on any MLB game and activate your token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout, no matter the showdown. BetMGM is your betting home for baseball. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with
line. You appreciate that, huh, Tyler?
I sure do. I love that song now.
Man, it's going to be your theme song, I think, from here on out, right?
I think it should be. I think it deserves to be at this point.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, Tyler, first of all, congratulations, my friend. You've just got to be thrilled. What have the days been like since you were drafted?
Oh, nothing but a dream, you know. So I'm out there the whole time in Green Bay. And then, man, I'm there with my family. I'm there with my girlfriend. I'm there with my barber, who's essentially my cousin, my childhood trainer. So I'm spending a week with them. Then I fly to Dallas, just spend some time with the people in that building, the great people in that building. Then I find my way into a Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert. And then I just came home last night and I had a little draft celebration with my friends and family. So this is definitely like one of the best weekends of my life, for sure.
I can imagine. So where's home for you, actually? Where are you calling us from right now?
I'm calling you guys from Hartford, Connecticut, but I'm from New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay. So
I'm in the airport headed back to Tuscaloosa now.
Okay, and then because you got to get back to Dallas because, like, rookie minicamp's it's been a whirlwind for you, huh?
No, yeah, we're rookie minicamp. I'll get back to Dallas on Thursday, and that's when the work starts, and that's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I would think so, Tyler. Being drafted, and I know you've had a little bit of a break since the college season ended, but to get to work as a pro now, that's got an exciting ring to it.
No, it's very exciting, and I was talking about it with my parents and the rest of my family. Like, this has been the most awkward spring for me in a while because this is the first spring in 7 years where I haven't been playing football, where I haven't had pads on, literally. So I just feel all out of sorts and all out of whack. So I just can't wait to get back in the routine and get back to work and doing what I love, and that's playing football.
Tyler Booker joining us here on the Blitz 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. When you go back and you think about the draft process, I know a lot of mocks had the Cowboys taking a wide receiver or something at number 12. Your reaction was so pure, so genuine. When did you know or think that you were going to become a member of the Dallas Cowboys?
I had a good idea once some other wide receivers were off the board, because I knew that was a need going into it. Just talking with my agent and seeing how the board worked out, and just hearing that it was between me and another player. And once that other player went, as soon as he went, I was like, oh man, like I think I'm going to be a Dallas Cowboy. And just sitting there waiting for that call and getting that call eventually, it was really a dream come true. I love Dallas.
So
I fell in love with the city when I was down there combine training. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, was that call from Jerry Jones?
Yes, it was. It was.
What was it like talking to Jerry Jones?
It was great. It was a little brief because he sent me over to Coach Shoddy and then Coach Adams as well. So it was great to talk to all of them. But he was fired up to have me. He told me that they were picking me and told me congratulations. So it's really a dream come true. And just growing up as a football fan, you watch all these draft announcements and watch all these draft phone calls, and you always wonder how yours are going to go. And mine went better than I ever thought it could.
I can't imagine you could even hear with all the noise, all the celebration. Are you glad they at least record that so you can watch it later? Do you actually remember most of it live?
I do remember most of it live, and I've been watching it a lot. Like it's just a real moment for me. Like I watch it every now and then to make sure that it was real.
Yeah, I would have that thing on a loop, I think, right? And just play it over and over and over again, no doubt. Well, Tyler, I've got to ask you, did you get a chance to talk to Dak Prescott?
I did get a chance to talk to Dak, and what we mostly talked about was just getting better, me learning from him and me learning all together, and then going to and then winning championships.
So he just wants to stay upright, right?
Oh yeah, I think everybody in Dallas wants it like that too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, and Tyler, you look at the situation you're coming into. The Great Wall of Tyler. I mean, everybody on the offensive line is named Tyler. You're going to be the rookie in the room. So there's a breakfast sandwich place that I believe all the boys like to eat at. You're going to be responsible for that. But also the nicknames. Now, I know you said the other day, T-Book, Book, whatever they want to call you, but are you worried some of the veteran guys might give you a nickname maybe you won't be as thrilled with?
I'm not too worried, and I know some stuff comes along with being a rookie, and I'll just take it in stride, and I'm just very excited to learn and work with those guys.
Well, when you look at the offensive line, and obviously the Cowboys have had a pretty good history of drafting offensive linemen, and you could step in the shoes of a future Hall of Famer. Do you worry about that? Is there the expectation? Because obviously Zach Martin was one hell of an offensive lineman. Is that put any added pressure on you?
No, I really don't feel any added pressure because for 21 years of my life, I've been Tyler Booker, and I'm going to continue to be Tyler Booker. And with that being said, I'm definitely going to learn from Zach Martin. I hope to build a relationship with him in the future, and I really want to continue and further the legacy of great offensive linemen for the Dallas Cowboys. But I know that if I go in there trying to be Zach Martin, I'll be doing me and the organization a disservice. So I'm just going to go in there and be Tyler Booker.
Couldn't have said that better myself. Well said. Tyler Booker here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. We got to get to know you a little bit better, Tyler. So you're from Connecticut. You played your college ball at Alabama. And you're coming to Texas now. Great barbecue steak, great Mexican food, and I imagine you eat a lot. Just judging, right? do you have some favorites yet of places or certain things that you just want to try that you're going to be able to get in Texas that maybe you can't get in Connecticut?
Oh, well, I've already fell in love with Hutchins. Like, that's my spot, man. So I actually had Hutchins a few times while being in Dallas for, like, last week and this past combine training session. And I would tell my family about it all the time. They're like, yeah, we'll see. And they had Hutchins for the first time this weekend. That's the quietest my mom and sister have ever been during a meal. So
that's
I think
hilarious.
It's that they fell in love with Hutchins too.
Now you're going brisket, beef rib, pork rib. I mean, what's the menu option there for Tyler Booker?
So this past weekend, somebody put me onto the chicken. So obviously, like the beef rib is mandatory. Beef rib is mandatory. You got to go beef rib, and then I went beef rib and chicken, the smoked chicken, and the smoked chicken really surprised me because, like, my mindset when it comes to chicken, like, you could get good chicken at more places than you could get good barbecue at most places. So I was like, all right, why would I try chicken? I'll get good chicken somewhere else. But I tried the chicken at Hutchins, and it was like, it just shows you how they dominate all facets of the game.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you found your place, Tyler. That's good. That sounds like, and just you're close to your family. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah. And so, big family guy, huh?
Yes, big family guy. I love my family.
So I would imagine they're going to be a big part of you watching you play football there at Jerry World, huh?
Oh yeah, they are. They love coming to see me play, and those are like some of the most fun weekends I ever have. Like being able to play a football game and embrace your family afterwards. Like my family has always made it a point to come to my games and see me play whenever possible. So like this past year at Alabama, I think my family were at if not a majority of my games.
It's incredible. And again, the family environment I know they have there in Dallas in most programs, pretty incredible. But you talk about your family, we got to talk about pets. Are you surprised your turtle has gotten as much attention as it has?
I am. I'm really surprised. Like I didn't think people would care that much. It's just like I love Trina. I think she's amazing. But I'm glad everybody else in the world thinks she's amazing as well.
Well, I've got to ask. Hey, my daughter's 26. Not really the biggest football fan. She's going to Arizona State. She texts me. It's like, I need to know more about Trina. I'm like, who's Trina? She's like, his reptile. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, tell me more about Trina. I got to answer to the kid.
Trina's very active, and Trina has a personality. Like you walk up past the terrarium, her enclosure, she'll swim up to you. She'll like spin it. It's funny, but like whenever you try to like go and grab her, she's still a little shy because she's about 4 months now, but she's starting to warm up to me. Like so, she'll swim up to me like when I like reach to go pick her up and get her out of the enclosure. But like whenever you just look at her, she's very fascinated with people. Like my friends will come by, she'll just be like she'll go anywhere to watch them. Like she'll track them. It's really funny.
Well, Tyler, how in the world did you get in with turtles? I mean, did you always like turtles, or is this something new?
This is honestly something new. I honestly, I was just watching TikTok and I saw somebody have a pet turtle. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I want to get a pet turtle, so I got one.
Nice.
Yeah, if you go on reptile, that's so much better than a snake or a bearded dragon. I mean, turtles. Besides, what all do you do with them?
You just watch them grow. And I hear so many stories about snakes. Like, oh yeah, my snake got out and it was lost in my house for 2 weeks. Like, how do you sleep How do you sleep with a snake on the loose in your house? Like,
you don't.
That's insane to me.
You don't. Yeah, I don't like snakes,
That's
Tyler. I don't know about you, but I'm not a snake fan, so I don't like them at all.
Neither am I.
Look, I got a knucklehead question for you. And, Jason and I do the show Monday through Friday, and we talk about, you watch quarterbacks and you know that they had a good day or a bad day. You watch a running back or a wide receiver. Tell me, when we watch you on Sunday in that Cowboys uniform, how are we going to know Tyler Booker had a good day? How do you judge an offensive lineman?
I judge the offensive lineman by how the quarterback's jersey looks at the end of the day, how his uniform looks at the end of the day. If it's clean, it's safe to say that they had a solid day, and then you grade from then on out. Then you look at the rushing yards, and then you look at how many knockdowns they had. But it all starts with keeping the quarterback off the ground, and that's where it starts, and that's the most important thing. Make sure that Dak is back there, has enough time to throw and do what he does best.
Well, and I know most say run blocking. Do you prefer run blocking or pass blocking?
I definitely prefer run blocking, but I know that football is a complementary game. Like, if you're run dominant, then they're just gonna pack the box, and then they're gonna force you to throw the ball. So I know that if you present pass enough, and they're thinking about, oh man, we gotta put an extra DB on the field. That's another small guy for one of us to pick on and run the ball at. Like, we're gonna run the ball on that fifth defensive back that you have on the field to make you put that linebacker out there. And then we're gonna throw it over the linebacker's head. Like, football is a game of chess. Like, it's a very physical game, but it's just as, if not more, mental than it is physical.
All right, Tyler, I got to ask you, I think one of the favorite things that I've heard you say since you were drafted by the Cowboys is you like to make other players hate the game of football or make their life miserable, something to that effect. What's the saying there? What is it you like to do to your competition?
Yeah, I like to take the level of the game away from them, and I do that by just being Tyler Booker, play after play, being ruthless, violent, physical, nasty, dominant, and just letting you know about it the whole entire game and being relentless with that. So, like, 4 quarters, you're going to get Tyler Booker.
I cannot wait. When you look around the NFC East and you think about some of the defensive linemen that you're going to go against. Now, granted, you're coming from Alabama. You've already gone against a lot of these guys. Is there one or two that you look forward to going up against, maybe more so than somebody else?
Man, I'm just excited to compete in that great conference. Like, if I were to name one and lead one off, and that's giving somebody billboard material. So I'm just really, really excited to go against whoever I see this season, and being in this division. I know there's a ton of great defensive linemen, and I'm excited to go against them all.
Now, did you have a favorite pro team growing up, Tyler?
I did. I was a Steelers fan growing up, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
you answered that correctly,
that was
man.
Perfect, yeah.
Because you would not look good in yellow pants, my friend.
No, I don't know. I don't think anybody does now.
See, you've been a Cowboy for a couple of days, and it already makes sense, man.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait to get to meet you in person when we're out in Oxnard at Cowboys training camp. I just got to say, though, as a tall 5'7", man, your comment about beating up on the little guys, man, let those guys run free.
Now, where's the fun in that?
Exactly. Another great answer. That's perfect.
See, that's the thing. That little corner is going to see Tyler coming to block him on, like he's pulling, and that guy's going to, pull a leg. He ain't going to get in your way.
I guarantee that's what I would do.
Exactly. Tyler, I know you've got a lot going on. The fact that you made time yesterday, Monday, we were going to do this on Friday, but obviously the schedule was messed up. You went home. You're back in Connecticut. But you wanted to keep the commitment, man, and you called right on time.
Of course.
We appreciate
great start. I can't tell you how much we appreciate that, my friend.
I appreciate y'all, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in California.
Good stuff. Tyler Booker, Cowboys guard, here on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Good. I tell you what, he's enthusiastic. He's happy to be a Dallas Cowboy, and he's ready to get to work. I love it.
Good stuff. We expect Jaden Blue later in the week as we go through some of the Cowboy draft picks, but a lot of people want to hear from the Longhorns, so we're working to make that happen as well.
Nice,
absolutely. Nice. We were at the Rue Pub Thursday night for first round of the draft when Booker got drafted, and we ate a lot there because, the Rue Pub is the best spot to go watch any big game, any big event with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around, and the food is fantastic. Old Matt Roy from Channel 4 was there. He had the Reuben burger. He said it's the best burger he's ever had. That's quite the endorsement from a guy that apparently eats a lot. If you've seen Matt Roy, you know what I'm talking about. The fried shrimp is spectacular. It came across that way, didn't it? It was intended. But I mean, you look at the fried shrimp, their wings, about 15 different burgers on the menu, great salads, great appetizers, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. They do steak night every Wednesday, a 12-ounce ribeye, your potato, the salad for $19.95, and that is a fantastic steak. And for all you complaining about Fiesta prices, the Roo Pub is doing chicken on a stick for $7. So go Fiesta. They're at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. We'll see you at the Roo.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Huddle, we roll through Fiesta. Hopefully, Rob and I show up at least somewhat sober.
We're getting to the closeout season, all first-round playoffs. We'll catch you up on everything. Shake the Coscaroni dust out of your ears. The party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know what's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, Junior Hot and Crispy Fries, and small soft drink is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
Unlimited time does not mean forever. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska, Hawaii, and California and via third-party delivery. Fresh beef available in the contiguous U.S., Alaska, and Canada.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
...to...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Join us for San Antonio's premier Fiesta event, Taste of the Northside, presented by H-E-B, Thursday, May 1st at 6. Experience gourmet food and wine tastings, sip on elevated spirits and cold brews, and enjoy live entertainment at our new location, The Rock at La Cantera. All proceeds benefit Brighton Center, serving children with disabilities and developmental delays in San Antonio. Limited all-inclusive tickets are $300 in advance and can be purchased at tasteofthenorthside.org. Viva Fiesta.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. It's Monday.
It is.
Tomorrow, $2 Tuesday out at the San Antonio Missions game, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Those hated Corpus Christi Hooks are going to be in town.
Oh, I hate those guys.
Yeah. We got a 4-pack of tickets we'll give away right now. Let's give them to caller number 5, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 tomorrow. Wolf Stadium. You got to go see the San Antonio Missions.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. I need to get out there. I haven't been to a game yet. I love going out seeing the Missions play.
It's always fun.
Yeah, it always is.
It's always fun. I know I saw July 4th they're doing Wade Bowen as the concert, although I believe they're doing it July 3rd. That's always fun. Our buddy Pat Green has done that many times. Pat is going to be on the Blitz tomorrow.
He's got a big show coming up, doesn't he?
Yep, out at Thirsty Horse.
Thirsty Horse.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
That'll be cool.
Fun to talk with Pat Green. Pat effing Green.
Look.
Just be careful.
No, that'll be good. That is coming up tomorrow, and of course, I've never interviewed Pat Green.
Are you sure?
I don't think I've ever interviewed him.
Really?
That'll be
all right.
Be my first time.
You excited? You gonna drive home listening to Wave on Wave?
Yes.
Learn some of his other music.
What was that? Who made that famous? Is it like Tom Jones?
Wave on Wave?
Yeah. I don't think that's a Pat Green original.
I think it's a Pat Green original.
Is it? I don't think so.
There's a Google box.
I'm going to find out.
Somebody research that. I believe Wave on Wave was a Pat Green original.
All right.
There's
Well, no
Southbound
disrespect
35,
to
Gary
Pat
on.
Green, if that's the case. Let's see. I believe you are correct.
Yeah.
Yes, song and lyrics by Pat Green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrote about his wife.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's one of those songs, right? It's a popular one, kind of, you know.
It put him over the top.
Yeah.
It put him over the top.
Well, that's cool.
Pat's a good dude. You know, it's interesting when you look at and you think about, you know, all the draft all weekend, and it really did overshadow a lot of the NBA. The ratings for the draft were incredible. And I think part of that was just the Shedeur Sanders hype. But you look at some of the basketball, there were some really good games and then some not really good games, which you expect in the first round of the playoffs, to be honest.
Well, sure, because, you know, you got 1-8. And the problem is the 8 seed in the West is kicking – well, it's not the 8 seed. What is Minnesota?
I'd have to look it up. 6?
6, yeah.
I think
they're
6.
Yeah.
Professional sports talk show
Yes, we
host.
are. Yes, we are. It's late. All right, it's late.
What do you mean? It's 5:42.
Well, it's late in the show.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
You're punch drunk already?
Nah, I guess so. I guess so. Look, some of the Denver Clippers series has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The Detroit-New York series has been fantastic. So there have been some good basketball games, but yeah, there's been some bad ones. I mean, Milwaukee's been a huge disappointment, even before Dame Lillard ripped up his Achilles. So they've been a disappointment. Indiana, I think, is underrated on a lot of people's radar. I don't think people thought Indiana was as good as they are. So yeah, there's been some bad and some good.
Now, the Knicks-Pistons series at 3-1, and at New York tomorrow night, the Knicks can finish them off. But you just look at that, and the Pistons are beside themselves. And you were talking about in the break, Reinagel hates the 2-minute report that the NBA puts out.
It's ridiculous because it does nothing to change anything other than, oh, yeah, we screwed up. Now go pound sand.
Well,
I mean, you know, okay, thanks. I mean, it just makes no sense to me. And I think it comes from a good place. They want you to know, yes, we're human, we made a mistake, and we're admitting it. But it doesn't change anything. And so we all knew they screwed up. I mean, that was a major foul on Hardaway Jr. yesterday, and he should have gotten free throws. But they didn't call it, and, well, now they said they were wrong.
Now, a couple of games tonight, Houston at Golden State. The Warriors lead the series 2-1. It's been an interesting, fun series. Jimmy Butler's expected to play tonight, officially listed as a game-time decision. Golden State's the 7th seed, and we talked about this before this series started. Golden State was favored. If there was like a major upset when you're just looking at seeding, it would be Golden State. But the Rockets, I mean, they scored 93 the other night. I'm surprised at how well Golden State is playing defensively in this series. The 2 Golden State wins, the Rockets have been held under 100. And I don't think Golden State and think defense all that often, even though they've got a Draymond Green, but they play okay defense, but they're going to outscore you.
Yeah, and Houston, I expected more from them. I really did. I thought that they would. I thought they'd win this series. Now I'm not so sure, especially with tonight's game being back in San Francisco or in San Francisco. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. Houston obviously needs to win this game, but there's still a lot of series left. Look, Golden State is long in the tooth, and I think the longer this series goes, that benefits Houston, in my mind.
And it's getting chippy, and I think that also benefits Houston.
Yes, they need to get physical. That's how they won Game 2.
Yep.
They got physical with Golden State. They need to do the same thing and bully them. Exactly right.
Now, most of the talk has been about the 6-3 matchup between Minnesota and the Los Angeles Lakers, where the 6-seeded T-Wolves lead 3-1. You think about the game yesterday. 116-113, T-Wolves got the win. J.J. Redick plays as an all-starting 5 the entire second half. Luka gassed at the end. LeBron, incredible that he didn't appear gassed, but you wonder, as old as that Lakers team is, can they handle the minutes? Is J.J. Redick handling this the right way?
No, I don't think so. And if you're planning to, you got to give them a rest, a small breather, and then play them the entire fourth quarter. But to expect guys to play 46 minutes a night, that's tough. And they've been averaging over 40 minutes in this series. I don't care who you are. You're going to be tired, and you're playing every other day, and it's tough. And look, these guys are well-conditioned. Now, there's some question with Luka, but if you play 46 minutes of quality, hard-nosed basketball, everybody's going to be tired.
It's incredible. And the unfortunate part of that, like this morning, watching Get Up and then First Take, not near enough talk about what Anthony Edwards is doing.
No, you're exactly right.
And it's all about Redick and the minutes LeBron and Luka played, and the fact that Luka looked gassed somewhere. Nico Harrison might be smiling, saying, "I told you, he's not in shape." But Anthony Edwards, my goodness, I can't say single-handedly because that is a good team that kind of disappointed most of the regular season from what the step we expected them to take this year. They weren't dominant like a lot of people thought coming into this NBA season that, what we saw Oklahoma City do, Minnesota was capable of doing something similar. And they didn't do that in the regular season. But what we've seen so far through the first couple of playoff games is, man, they have found the next switch. They have leveled up.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards has been playing great. There's no doubt about it. And he's really impressed. But I'll tell you, Towns, Cat, he's been playing. He made some shots yesterday. Incredible. Just incredible. So they're playing well. They really are playing well. And I think it's the Lakers are in deep doo-doo. Let's face it. They're in deep trouble. And, they're in trouble. And I said Cat. Cat plays for the Knicks. He did make some great shots yesterday, by the way. But he doesn't play for Minnesota.
And they all kind of run together. Yeah. At one time.
Yeah, he did.
At one time.
So he did play well yesterday, though, down the stretch, and he made some tough shots. So my apologies to Cat. He's now a Knick.
Been one all year.
Well, I didn't watch much Knicks basketball, to be honest with you. So he played well. I watched that entire game yesterday. It was a hell of a game, the Detroit Knick game. And I was glued to the TV because it was just one of those games that plays were being made. But Cade Cunningham had an opportunity to win that game for Detroit with a shot right there at the free throw line, and he clanked it off the back. And I just think that's the difference. And he'll learn. Look, he'll learn. And there's been complaints by his head coach that he's not getting the calls that most superstars get. So you make shots like that, though, to win games, that elevates your stardom really quickly.
You look at, the NBA tonight, a couple of games. I look at tonight's schedule. All right. Tomorrow night, we get Clippers and Nuggets, a series tied at 2.
It's been a hell of a series.
It really has. And quite frankly, I'm not sure which way this goes. I know I want the Nuggets to win, although I feel like when they fired Mike Malone, they were trying to exit early for whatever reason. But that's been a fun first-round series, probably the best series that we've got going so far.
Yeah, I mean, no question, I think. And the fact, Denver gets blown out in game 2, and then they come back, or game 3, they all run together. They got blown out in the last game, and then they come back strong and win this thing and to tie it up at 2-2. So, and props to Denver for not quitting. And I hope they beat number 2.
Yes, we all want number 2 to have a long off season so we could be well rested to have plenty of load management games next year.
Do you think that guy really gives a damn? I mean, he's got, he's got a lot of money in the bank.
He does. Although, I mean, yeah, I got nothing for that guy. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the money. I don't know how much he even cares about that. I don't know what that guy cares about. I mean, there was a time, especially when we played here, I thought all he did was care about basketball, but I don't even know if that's there. But see his press conference the other day, made him take the Gatorade bottles off the podium because kids don't need to be drinking that. Like,
who said that?
Kawhi.
Really?
Yeah. He put the bottles down on the side. He didn't want them in front of him.
Wow. I'm sure. Pretty damn sure Gatorade doesn't sponsor him in any way, shape, or form.
No, but they do sponsor the NBA. There's a reason those are there. Wow. It's called product placement.
Kids.
I mean, if Gatorade would like to send some, we can put them right here on our table, and they'll be on our YouTube feed all day long.
Yes.
Yes.
That would be fantastic.
You want your mug right here? We can do that.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean.
We might even put a picture right there in one of these swanky frames.
It's possible.
It'd be a big G.
Oh, Gatorade?
I thought that's what you were talking about.
Anything.
Whatever, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Are you making a sales pitch on?
Why not?
Why not?
We're all for sale. You want your logo instead of that ugly Cardinal logo Ryan Eagles wearing? Wear your shirt every day. Why are you? Did they win this weekend or something?
Yeah, they took 2 out of 3 from Milwaukee.
From Milwaukee?
Milwaukee.
Nobody gives a damn about Milwaukee except Edwin.
Well, nobody does.
You didn't come in early enough to give him any crap.
That's not worth it. Because I'd have to get here really early. I don't know when Edwin leaves. 2? No, we don't leave at 2.
Pledge has no idea.
He has no clue.
Even if Edwin's here, you wouldn't know.
No, he leaves about 11 or 12.
Okay.
I always
11 or
talk
12.
to him before he leaves.
Well, 11 or 12 is a little early. Unless I have to be here for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hockey tonight. Stars take on the Avalanche. Series tied 2-2.
Wow. The Avalanche good?
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Series is tied 2-2. The Stars have led for an entire 62 seconds in this series.
That's crazy.
I mean, they got curb stomped last time out.
Don't ever count them out, kids.
No. Got the Lightning and Panthers playing tonight. Do you know who that is?
The Lightning, the Panthers. No, one's Florida, right? Tampa?
Which one is Tampa?
The Lightning.
Oh, okay. And where do the Panthers play? You're hoping you could just look at a website page and it will tell you without using any kind of your devices there.
I just happen to have this right here.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm wondering, and I'm just taking it. So it's Florida takes a 2-1 lead into Game 4 against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
How about that?
That still doesn't answer where Florida plays. That game tonight is where?
It's got to be in Miami, doesn't it?
There you go. Why Miami?
Well, because that's probably the most swanky city in Florida. Wouldn't you say?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. I've been to Orlando. I wasn't impressed. Been to Miami several times. It's a nice place.
Nice.
Very expensive place.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's about it for Florida that I've been.
You've never been to Tampa?
Never been to Tampa.
That's a fun
Never
city.
have. Yeah. I'm sure it is.
One of my favorite bars.
I know.
Is in Tampa.
You've told me that.
Hat Tricks. Great spot.
What makes it great, Jason?
Well, every waitress there looks like a knockoff of Kate Upton. We'll start with that.
Okay, well, fair enough.
And the food is good, and the drinks are cold, and it's just a great bar.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's good. Yes.
And did I mention? Seems like everybody that works there looks like Kate Upton.
Kate Upton. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, if I get the opportunity at some point.
Go visit your buddy Evan.
Yeah.
Evan, I need to spend a weekend with you.
Nah. Nah. Like old Evan. He's a great guy.
I like him, but I don't want to go visit him.
Not sure that I'm going to, we're good. We're good buddies.
Wonder what AJ will sing tomorrow morning. Tune in 6 to 10 to the Morning Huddle.
Unless you have dogs that will bark.
So, we're back tomorrow at 2. Extra innings with Pledge next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-35 with the Blitz.